4 Republicans other than Mike Johnson during the first ballot moments ago changed their votes.
Mr. Norman, Johnson. Mr. Self, Johnson.
That gave Mike Johnson 218 votes, a simple majority of the members present. The two had huddled with Johnson and other Republican leaders at the back of the chamber. After the initial roll call came up 2 votes shy for Johnson, they approached the chair and changed their votes.
Therefore, the Honorable Mike Johnson of the state of Louisiana, having received a majority of the votes cast, is duly elected Speaker of the House of Representatives for the 119th Congress.
Johnson retains the gavel with a slim GOP majority in the House. The House can now conduct business, including a joint session of Congress on Monday, to certify the results of the Electoral College vote. The new members of the U.S. Senate have been sworn in. Vice President Kamala Harris administering the oath.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic? I do. Congratulations, Senators.
Republicans have the majority in the Senate, 53-47. The FBI and other federal agencies issuing a new warning of potential terror attacks with vehicles being used as weapons. Potential copycats of Wednesday's terror attack in New Orleans that left 14 people dead. The president and the first lady will travel to New Orleans on Monday. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says the president has been briefed on the Chinese cyber attack on the U.S. Treasury Department in December, in which hackers stole some documents. Treasury calling it a major incident. An hour before the close, Wall Street is up sharply. The Dow trading 292 points higher. NASDAQ is up 320. America is listening to Fox News.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-893-2288. 800-893-2288. 800-893-2288.
I love this silly little tune. And look forward to Let It Rip Friday. How you doing? It's only me. It's only the Giver with Pete Davis and Flounder, and it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Little cool and crispy, but winter. You know, we got a lot of things going on today. We've got a lot of politics, a new speaker. And, a lot of stuff going on here that we'll get to. Serious stuff and talk about the bomber thing and all the people and Vice President. They didn't mention it on the news. We're going to mention it, though. Just saying the Pledge of Allegiance, dear Lord. The legacy of this administration wrapped up in exactly what's been going on lately. Anyway, Pete Davis, how's it going? What's new? We're right here in the old studio with you.
Had to go to the ER last night.
What for?
I don't want to bore you with details.
Yeah.
But the Dyson ball cleaner is a very dangerously misleading name.
Oh, hey, yasso, kabunga.
Misleading name.
By the way, we're going to talk a lot of sports today. Holy cow. Have a lot of ESPN stuff and the All-State sponsor guide, the flag and the Pledge of Allegiance and the things they missed. And Vice President's side piece, leaving with another moment of disgusting behavior, stuff like that. What do you got there? Uh-oh. Oh, that too. Well, in fact, hold on now. And Flounder, the mechanical mangler, at the controls in the cave of darkness in there. What's new with you, sir, in the last 24 hours, and how's it going?
All is well. I wonder what's in Pete's hand.
Well,
right
it's the way. Okay, we're going to talk about this. I mean, this is amazing. I'm saying, this is one of the. Okay, again, do we have Neil Borch? Do we know about Neil Borch yet? I'm trying to.
I have not heard from him.
Okay,
so.
we may or may not have Neil Borch today. We don't know. If he gets around to it, great. If not, we'll get him next week. So again, vacation time. Who knows? He could be on. God knows anywhere. Also. Well, I forgot what I was going to say. Rainey, we have a special live performance for you coming up later on in just like 20 minutes or so. It's a big-time Charlie one today.
2 pages.
When you went out of your way, sir. So we got Flounder's Funnies, Holy Crap at Sports, and I got a question on the NIH thing and led to stuff. Okay, here's the deal. Yesterday, Flounder, God bless him, yesterday sent Pete and me a text, and it said something like, are you guys coming to the wedding? If you're not, it won't offend me if you're not, because, but I'm going, oh, crap, oh, jeez, oh, God. Was that like a reply thing? Oh, crap. See, this is why men need a girl, and we need a girl. We need a girl. If I had been married, then this never would have happened.
Yeah,
Again, the thing is,
that's the funny thing is I have a girl, and she was the one that reminded me.
There you are, because you wouldn't know whether anybody did it. There's no list for you.
You invited them?
You say, will you marry me? She said yes, and then stay the hell out of it. So you don't know anything about lists. I mean, planning,
I gave her a ring and a house,
reservations.
So I'm
exactly. So you're done, man. Anyway, so poor Veronica's trying to figure out the freaking wedding and this stuff for the thing and all this stuff. And so and we got the invitation, and we first we got to save the date, which so put it on the calendar, and then we got the actual wedding invitation. And I looked at it and said, oh, this is so sweet. In the meantime, after I got the wedding invitation, Veronica was actually here in the studio, and we talked, and she asked me, she said, I don't know if there are going to be a lot of single old ladies here for you, Kimmer, but, and there'll be a lot of dancing. And I joked, I said, I won't dance again, never dance again.
I'm pretty sure she's going to have a dance.
Yeah, anyway, and so she said, oh, well, you're going to dance with me, aren't you? And I said, oh, of course I'll dance with you. The last dance I had at a wedding was my daughter's wedding. That's the last time I danced with a woman, was my daughter's wedding. Anyway, so that's where it ended. So therefore, very, very funny. So I assumed that she knew I was coming to the wedding, and I didn't know that we had to reply with a note.
I had to go and find. It was underneath the pile.
It was there somewhere.
It's here somewhere.
So I think I felt like an idiot. I'm so embarrassed because I hope she's not offended. I mean, okay. Anyway, so yes, going to the wedding, and I'm not bringing.
She's offended. You're worried about her being offended.
I'm worried about her being offended.
Oh, you are?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Without telling my address.
Yeah.
Read the first line.
Oh my God, that's not even close. Your name is not even close to that name. I mean, it sounds like your name.
And it was Christmas. You misspelled my name at Christmas.
And especially when your name is
it's a Christmas name.
Anyway, that's pretty funny.
Did she put Pete on there?
No, she put N-O-L-E.
No, as opposed to N-O-E-L.
N-O-E-L.
N-O-L.
And I appreciate the proper name being put on there.
Yeah,
it is. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, there you go.
Just not my
That's
name.
very nice. Anyway,
but that wasn't the reason I ignored it. It was just
and again, I feel like an idiot. But again, this way you need a girl. Yeah, girls do this stuff. Guys don't do this. Of course, I'm coming. I've talked to her, for God's sake. She must have known I'm coming.
You know where it is, right?
I don't know.
It's in South Carolina.
Well, that's fine with me. I love driving. I love my car. I'll go anywhere they want. You can drive to Vegas.
It's right on the border. It's on Lake Hartwell.
That's fine. That's fine. That's like a Saturday.
It's a Saturday, more of an afternoon.
You know how far it is?
No.
If you go 15 more miles, you get close to Flowery Branch.
There you go. You get for the Falcons. All right, now let me ask you this. This is in February afternoon wedding.
15th on a Saturday, right?
Okay,
correct.
Saturday.
When's the Super Bowl?
Oh, it's that day. I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to watch the Super Bowl.
It's never on Saturday.
It's on a Sunday, so you'll be all right.
Anyway, so here's so I'm thinking to myself, all right, now Saturday afternoon wintertime wedding.
Ooh,
what the hell do you wear as a guest at a Saturday afternoon wintertime wedding? So I Googled it.
Pants.
Well, that would be a good idea for you, because normally that's not your,
Saturday.
So I Googled it, and the problem is, afternoon, and it's all a bunch of black guys wearing skinny suits, and I can't, what the. So I'm really not sure what the hell
I have
to
a
wear.
suit.
And I've got
the suit.
Yeah, like a casual, like a pair of slacks and a casual dress coat or something like that.
I have a great sport jacket and real good slacks and a tie, stuff like that. So I've got an outfit, but I thought to myself, I really don't know if there's a thing about afternoon weddings in February, whether that makes a difference. I just don't. I was curious. And again, I don't have a girl. There's no girl who would have picked out my outfit for me.
We have three options based on the weather. Okay. So we have outdoor, kind of indoor, outdoor,
or in the lake.
Indoor.
Yeah.
or in the lake.
Is this? I forgot. I think you made the.
It's on a bed and breakfast called the Beacon.
There you go. They have property and
they renovated an old barn.
Yeah.
So it'd be really cool.
Cool. Excellent. Anyway, so we're looking forward to it. So
it's a beautiful drive for me from the mountains to go over there.
Listen, I'll drive anywhere. I almost got in my car and drove to Denver.
Why?
I don't know. I just almost did.
In winter. That's not really
well, that's why I didn't. In fact, we were talking about my car. It's got way too much torque on it. If it does snow, I'm screwed. Yeah. My car will not go, because if I try to drive, it goes zoink. But the last time we got snowed in, and you were driving some electric thing or something. I had a
Honda Civic SI.
A Civic, yeah. Okay, so we're in the parking garage, which is, when you're in the parking garage parked, to get out, you have to go uphill. And, of course, it was all ice. It was the ice storm several years ago, and Pete and I, we got trapped in the office, and Pete said, screw it, I'm leaving. I said, well, I'll try to follow you too. So Pete goes right up the ramp, everything's fine. I was in my Shelby, or maybe it was my Celine 302, I think, maybe, and there was no way. They just like sliding up the hill. It won't get traffic. It's got 800 horsepower almost. I mean, there's just no way it was going up that slow. Anyways. Okay. Anyway, so we got the wedding settled. Okay. Maybe Neil Boyd, you don't know, we have a speaker.
Neil's going to chat with us next week. He's a little under the weather. I just got a text.
Oh, my God. Okay. Well, Neil, if you're listening, sorry, man. Don't worry about us, and I feel better. And a lot of people are. Holy cow.
That RSV thing going around, the atmospheric chest thing, that's pretty bad.
I wonder, I've been having a lot of different feelings going on in me with my stomach and my headache, kind of not dizziness, but sort of, I don't know, very strange things happening last off and on here. So I wonder if that's what it is. That's probably what it is. So thank God now I don't have to go to the doctor.
I'm not going into detail as to why, what's happening. We're just going to put it on the heading of RSV.
What do you think? I don't even know what that means. Is that respiratory?
It's respiratory. It's almost like a flu-like respiratory for older people, and it's hard for them to breathe.
So do you have like bronchitis or something?
I don't. I haven't had any problem with it.
Right. Well,
it's probably what I had, because if you listen to me breathe, like it's.
Oh my God!
Wow. I'm still getting over my cough and cold, and it's been very raspy.
I'm the healthiest one of the three of you.
I got home Christmas afternoon. I didn't get off the couch till I think yesterday.
Wow,
basically, I just sit there and watch football for a week.
Well, you need your body tells you what you need. One way or another, you're going to find out what you need, and you have to learn how to read it.
Video games and football.
There you are. Got 313. Holy cow, we have an actual show. Here's our number. Please join us. Let It Rip Friday, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. A little rainy day coming up, and your calls and the politics and the ESPN thing and the national, and here they go after veterans again. That slimy little freaking liberal, Lawrence McDonald, who, by the way, is a writer, used to work on the West Wing TV show, and he was a congressional stew. He was a gopher for a congressman. That's his claim to fame, and they put him on MSNBC to complain that it's veterans who are responsible for all the worst. Anyway, here we go. 313, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Stand by.
A new year. A new president and a new approach for America. XTRA 106.3 will be with you every step of the way in 2025 with the local and national voices you trust the most. Atlanta radio legends who've been with you for a generation and the worldwide resources of Fox News bringing you the latest. We are proud to start another year as the conservative voice of Atlanta. XTRA 106.3 FM and the XTRA 106.3 app.
I am Michael Green, chef and third-generation owner of Matthew's Cafeteria, located on Main Street in historic downtown Tucker, Georgia. We have been serving Southern comfort favorites since my grandparents opened the doors in 1955. 70 years later, Matthew's is still preparing those same recipes. Come in today, grab a tray and sit down to award-winning fried chicken, turkey and dressing, hand-peeled mashed potatoes, and made-from-scratch biscuits, pies, and cobblers. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 6 days a week. Come and see us today and experience the Matthew's way.
Hi, my name is Steve from Marietta, and we hired ATL Turf Co. to build our dream backyard golf setup. They installed a large 4-hole putting green, a sand bunker, a short game area, and did a full conversion to artificial grass around the pool with decorative retaining walls. ATL Turf Co. was really creative. They were efficient. The installation was a breeze. Price was completely reasonable, and I definitely appreciated their communication throughout the project. I would definitely recommend ATL Turf Co. to anybody thinking about doing a backyard makeover. You can check them out online right now at atlturfco.com.
Look out. I think your health insurance premiums just went up again. Hey, it's a Kimmer. How's it going? Hey, I got great news. If you're tired of those skyrocketing health insurance premiums, introducing Trump Care. If you're healthy and self-employed, small business owner, close to Medicare, even on a COBRA plan, Health Insurance Doctors got you covered. How about saving up to 60% on annual premiums with Trump Care plans? Nationwide PPO network. Let you see any doctor, any hospital, plus 0 deductibles, no co-pays. The best part, plans are available year-round. No more open enrollment, no hard-to-get subsidies, no IRS penalties. Oh, guess what? It's free to you. You don't have to pay them to do it. The Health Insurance Doctor for decades, proudly serving the metro Atlanta area. Thousands of happy customers. Here's a free number to get a quote, 678-523-0759. Visit healthinsurancedoctor.net. Here's the number again. Again, there's no charge to you, 678-523-0759. On the web, healthinsurancedoctor.net.
For half a century, glyphosate has affordably and effectively protected Georgia farmers' crops from invasive weeds. Without it, the impact would be felt beyond the fields, hitting Americans where it hurts, our wallets. That's why the Modern Ag Alliance advocates for farmers' continued access to essential crop protection tools so food prices don't rise even more. Get the facts at controlweedsnotfarming.com. Paid for by the Modern Ag Alliance in support of Georgia farmers.
Need more than just headlines on your ride to work? Tug, Rhino, and Los have you covered with the biggest stories of the day and everything your coworkers will be talking about. It's the Morning Extra, live from 6 to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, only on XTRA 106.3 and the XTRA app.
Look out. Let it rip Friday. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. Look out. Here we go. Stand by. Hope we don't have to hear his voice. I'll talk fast. 2020, Sir Rod Stewart was charged by police after a fight at a hotel in Florida New Year's Eve. The police report accused Stewart of punching a security guard after he and his buddies, including his son Sean, tried to get into a private party at a children's area at the Breakers Palm Beach Hotel. The Breakers does not allow just anybody in, even Rod Stewart, apparently. Thank God when you can't hear his voice here, we can move on to other things very soon. Now, he's got a good band. I mean, that was a... Yeah, I hate his voice. I'm sorry. God, it's just a yuck. Jesus, I mean, seriously. I know your name is Rita.
It's a great lyrics, this song.
I saw you down on the floor.
Yeah. One place says, get up, get out, get up, get dressed, get out. I think it's one of the lyrics, something like that.
Well, we've all said that to some chick we caught on the floor. Reminds me of a thing that happened on the beach at Cape Cod one day. But anyway, 3:18. I was drunk.
You were young, spring.
That was when I couldn't drink grape juice for like 20 years. Manischewitz blackberry wine. Anyway, all right, our birthdays, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 318-404-741-1230. Let's have a little fun. It's Friday. The weekend's coming up. We've had a little thing going on, and so let's have a little fun. Our birthday list includes Dabney Coleman. He's 93 today.
No,
yes,
he died. He
died?
I think he's dead.
Oh, my God.
Let me look.
Well, it was on my birthday list. Now, Flounder's birthday and history list is gone until Monday.
It'll be back Monday.
So I'm doing all my own.
He died last May.
Oh, I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll do a different one. Stephen Stills is 80.
He's still with us.
He's still with us. Stephen
Southern
Stills,
boy.
80 years old. Stills, Crosby, Lushke, Lunn, and Burskin. And I might have missed out a couple of those names.
Burskin?
I don't know.
Neil Burskin, Canadian troubadour.
I could have gotten that wrong. It's very possible. Hey, leave me alone.
The Burskin brothers.
Get off my back. Claude Justeau, famous deep sea diver.
Justeau. The Jewfish. Catching them.
How you calling Jewfish, mister? Anyway, on this day, I got to get my frog. Hold on. Here we go. On this day in 1964, Jack Parr used to do the Late Tonight Show. Mm-hmm. Jack Parr airs a film clip of the Beatles singing the song She Loves You, 1964. They would then make their first historic live appearance on U.S. TV on the Ed Sullivan Show a month later. The Beatles had made their first appearance on U.S. TV in a segment of the Huntley-Brinkley Report the previous November in 1963. I remember that. I don't remember the whole story, but I remember them being, and everybody was going nuts about it. And again, it was their hair. Their hair was long and down over their ears.
George was here earlier that year in 63 to visit his sister. He got to America first. Yeah.
No kidding. That's cool. Anyway, it's 320. Kim Rapine and Flounder, 404-741-1230. They've elected a speaker, and all day long, in fact, we were watching here in the studio before we went on live, and it was going for like 2-3 hours. We're watching this stuff. And it was 2 hours when they started voting on him. They're messing around, and we knew it was going to happen, and bump it, boom. And I kept thinking to myself, Donald Trump won. He won by a freaking landslide. So all you Republicans are now going to be under Donald Trump as your Republican leader, so shut up and do what we need to get done. How come it's only the Democrats who stick together?
Right.
The Democrats know they have to stick together to win. And what does it matter in politics, my friends, if you would rather ride your high freaking horse? Oh, I'm not voting for that Herschel Walker. Oh, he had a problem with the girl once. Oh, I'm not voting for that old Herschel Walker. You idiots, and look what we got instead. And you've got to have your eyes on the prize. You don't have to compromise everything you believe in, but you've got to get to the finish line. Mm-hmm. I said only Republicans said, I'm taking the high road here. Well, then you're hurting America. How is it that America's less important than you are?
If you've lost and your segment didn't get the power, pull the big boy pants on and go along until you get that power.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, the whole thing is just outrageous. It's Republicans. Here we go again. Although they finally came through and it's on the first official ballot, and one day did it, and they did it, so that's good.
Some of them would rather have a moral victory than a bad victory.
Right, exactly. They'd rather have America suffer so they can say, "I told you so." I stood by my guns, boy. But sure, America's going to be screwed for it.
The rest of us will suffer.
Good Lord. Okay, now here we go. As you know, Vice President Carmela Sidepiece, the shiftless and lazy Vice President of the United States, is still the President of the Senate, of the United States Senate. And she is used, in case and she's done it before, every tie she's broken. If there's a 50-50 tie in the Senate, then she is the tie breaker. And she has voted to break the ties for things that are her socialist platforms that she got through because she broke the tie vote. Now, today, as President of the Senate, Carmela Sidepiece, the Vice President, was leading them in their congratulations and also the Pledge of Allegiance. Flounder, if you would, listen carefully to how your Vice President of the United States recites the Pledge of Allegiance.
Join me in pledging allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the...
I pledge allegiance to the to the flag of the United States. And she never did say flag, but she had already said flag, and she had to say the United States twice. Can you play it again, Flounder? I'm sorry. Again, listen very carefully. How she never said the words "the flag," and she said the United States twice. Here we go.
Join me in pledging allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America.
She never said the word "the flag." I mean, how
stupid.
I mean, is she nervous? She's never been in front of the public before, maybe, or the microphone was loud in her ears. I mean, got distracted. Maybe some guy was whipping. I don't know.
Where does someone from supposedly San Francisco come up with that nasal accent?
She's got so many of them.
That's true.
I remember she was Puerto Rican for a while. She
Indian.
was Italian. She's a Jamaican. Donald Trump put this on X or Twitter with 3 laughing emojis. We dodged a bullet, thank God. I mean, she could have been your president. Oh, Lord.
Imagine how bad things would be right now and how depressing it would have been going through the holidays knowing she would be in charge.
Oh, Lord.
With these terror attacks going on and everything.
I can't imagine. I literally can't imagine. I sure restored faith, and I still, I mean,
the Republicans, never underestimate the Republicans' ability to screw up a sure thing.
Try, yeah. At least try. To make, and again, the two that were holding out came around, and it was because, they probably got some kind of deal, some more contributions or helping with the next congressional. Again, the problem with Congress is they're up for election as soon as they get elected.
Yeah.
They're every 2 years, and so all they do is try to raise money.
Maybe 3 years. 3 years, maybe. Give them 2 terms, 3 years each, and that's it.
Well, I think 6 years, it's 4, 6, 8 years max, maybe. Again, Senate 6 years. So, 6 years ought to be long enough to get, plans accomplished.
How about this? For senators and representatives, you get 3 terms, and then you have to stay out a term if you want to run again after that. But you got to give someone else a chance because they get so entrenched that you can never get them out.
Yeah, but the problem is, the whole freedom of elections and the people get to decide. It's
the freedom is whatever the Constitution says it is.
But again, if they can change the Constitution, that would be 2/3 of the states. That would be.
I think people are tired of these getting in there and making it a retirement home.
Now I think you can do term limits without a constitutional amendment. Well, maybe not.
I would hope.
Now,
if you were to do that, would you do it with every single branch? Would you do it with the judicial branch as well?
No,
I don't.
You got to kind of
have lifetime judges is the problem.
So they're not swayed, allegedly.
No. Well, the danger is when they appoint all of them at the last minute, like they're doing now, trying to get them all through the liberals.
I think Biden said he's got over 235.
Yeah. Bragging about how many liberal judges he's putting in power.
But at the same time, Trump did the same thing.
Yeah.
You got conservative judges across the board, thank God.
We're better. We're better than they are, so it should be for us instead. We should have a rule that we can do it and they can't. Yeah. That's what I say.
That sounds fair.
And now to the news. Actually, this is now the effective game. Okay, first, Pete, let's talk about the game. Again, Holy Crap at Sports coming up.
I tell you, Ole Miss, they really showed up.
I'm not talking about Ole Miss, my God, man. Although they would have been more entertaining. I hate to say it about Georgia, but good Lord.
No, Georgia got to the playoffs. You got to congratulate them. They won the SEC. They had a great year. It wasn't up to what they were expecting, but they had a great year.
What were they, 10-2? I mean, my God.
But I don't expect old Parker Jones to be on the ball club next year.
Well, we're going to talk about that.
I feel kind of bad for him, too. He just got a little excited. He was in the wrong place, the wrong time.
I am very upset about how they treated him, though, in the booth. But we'll get to this. First of all, the game.
Georgia just got out-coached, and frankly, this is not your daddy's Notre Dame.
Yeah.
This Freeman character can coach, he can recruit, especially the transfer portal. They got a lot of kids in from the transfer that were big contributors. This is a very good Fighting Irish team. Yeah. Now, can they beat if Ohio State keeps playing the way they're playing? Nobody's going to beat
Ohio State. Yeah.
But 3 games ago they sucked against Michigan.
Yeah.
So show up wearing maize and blue, and you got a chance against these guys.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, Texas is not as strong as we thought.
No,
I don't think Quinn Ewers, who does not play 4 quarters, he shows up for 2 or 3 quarters, but there's one that he just doesn't show up for. Yeah. He can't do that if Ohio State plays like they did against Oregon.
Yeah.
But Georgia, a really good year, and they tried their best. They had a quarterback, his first start in a playoff game.
Right, and he still passed for almost 300 yards.
I'm not.
Of course, they also had some fumble. They ran back a thing and there were fumble stuff. And so they were doomed. It was almost
Georgia just never had any momentum in that game.
I'm not convinced he's the starter next year, but he's got a good chance to be the starter. Not going to judge him over that game last night because he got thrown into the fire.
Yeah,
the defensive line did not do what you usually expect Georgia does. Receivers kept dropping the ball.
I was surprised that some of those star defensive guys weren't dominating like I.
What surprised me is that every year you hear about the 5 stars out of high school quarterbacks that Georgia gets.
Yeah.
Yet they didn't have someone ready.
Yeah, I know.
When Carson got hit. But then you also have to think there wasn't a lot of time to play a backup this year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Also, you're kind of stuck with the horse is going to get you the wins.
So I expect them to open up the checkbook and spend some money in the off season.
Yeah. All right, now ESPN. ESPN did not air the national anthem and the moment of silence after what happened at the Sugar Bowl, ahead of the Sugar Bowl, on what happened in New Orleans. Absent from the pregame broadcast, the national anthem and the honor of the tragedy that happened a mile away from the Superdome where Notre Dame and Georgia squared off. A source at the situation told reporters that the national anthem and moment of silence didn't make it because it was awkward in a commercial break. They had interviewed Tim Tebow, went to a commercial break, and that's when the national anthem started, and they didn't want to come into the middle of it. However, SEC Nation, which aired it on ESPN's SEC network, broadcast live from the Dome, got the moment of silence, got the national anthem. People screaming and chanting USA, USA, emotions on the sideline. People, running with an American flag on the whole thing. You can get any of it. You can get any of it on
And that
on
was an
ESPN.
executive decision from Bristol, Connecticut,
That's right.
or New York.
That's right. That's right. It's a shame they didn't share the national anthem. It was beautiful, I guess, but no one got to see it because of the Disney ESPN conglomerate decided not to show it.
Yep.
Another guy. Did I miss the national anthem at the Sugar Bowl? Did the woke ESPN not show it? And ESPN declines to comment. Okay.
Why would you not show that after a terrorist attack that delayed the game 24 hours? Why would you not? I want to know who made the decision.
Screw the commercial. I mean, you could let the commercial anytime during a timeout that comes up in the first quarter, for God's sake. There's no possible explanation why ESPN didn't plan to make sure that because they knew there was going to be a moment of silence. I mean, they're the ones who did the show. Their producer did the show. So their producer knew they were going to do a moment of silence, and the announcer was going to say this stuff. So what's the possible explanation other than they deliberately went along with the interview instead of cutting and said, sorry, Jim, we're going to the national anthem right now, which anybody would have done if they'd wanted to play it.
The conservative media needs to step up and do their job. We want a name as who made the decision at ESPN or Disney not to use that.
Right. Somebody had a rundown. They knew what the schedule was. They knew minute by, believe me, they know second by second. They do not goof around with this stuff. This is a broadcast that everyone's going to be watching. I mean, these freaking people. And by the way, at 3:31, so we're late coming in here. But coming up, the Sugar Bowl, the Sugar. Well, Julio,
can't help it. Yeah, go.
Okay, all right, here we go. The corporate sponsor of the Sugar Bowl, Allstate. Their CEO, Tom Wilson. I think we have some sound of this guy coming up here in a second. Mr.
Wilson.
Tom Wilson, CEO of Allstate, has ignited a firestorm of backlash after his comments regarding the terrorist attack in New Orleans that killed 14 people. Ahead of the Sugar Bowl, Allstate, the official corporate sponsor, he suggested Americans have an addiction to divisiveness and we should accept imperfections or so. Here is the CEO of Allstate. Listen to these comments and then tell me what you think, and we'll tell reactions and what others think about this too. Here you go.
Welcome to the Allstate Sugar Bowl. Wednesday, tragedy struck the New Orleans community. Our prayers are with the victims and their families. We also need to be stronger together by overcoming an addiction to divisiveness and negativity. Join Allstate working in local communities all across America to amplify the positive, increase trust, and accept people's imperfections and differences. Together, we win.
He said our prayers went to victims and their families need to be stronger together by overcoming an addiction to divisiveness and negativity. Join Allstate working in local communities all across America to amplify the positive, increase trust, and accept people's imperfections and differences.
How about accept other people's religions? Why don't we start there?
The Sean Davis, CEO and co-founder of The Federalist, said it's time to cancel Allstate insurance plans. Yep. An injury lawyer, he says, condemns a statement, called out Allstate as a company in response to the controversy. What was Allstate thinking about with that statement? I've just canceled my policy and signed up with State Farm. Another one, that limp-wristed Allstate commercial about the terrorist attack is just what I needed to know, that I won't give them any of my business. And one said it's the worst, most ill-conceived of the college football season. Those comments, that commercial that this guy did, the statement. And by the way, Allstate says, well, to be clear, we unequivocally condemn the heinous act of terrorism and violence in all forms and stand with those families. Well, a little late.
He blamed you. He blamed me. He blamed all America
for not being better
what
at
the terrorist did.
Yeah, it's probably our fault that if we just been nicer or better, accept the device,
accept Islamic terrorism.
The differences, Oh, God, so much more. And we're not even done. Never close. 3:34, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Let it rip Friday.
The The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
I don't think we can calculate how many deaths have occurred in America because Joe Biden decided on his day one that the borders were going to be open. Yes, deaths. Joe Biden killed people with that decision.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
All right, look out now. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. 3:34. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Some exciting live entertainment coming up to you right here from our broadcast booth in a very short order. Have you made your New Year's resolution to make sure you can take care of yourself in case you get in a wreck on the way home tonight or something? I mean, I hate thinking about it, but people are crazy out there on the road, and you can protect yourself if you know David Van Sant, and you will in a moment if you haven't already. David Van Sant, the lawyer of Van Sant Law. David Van Sant used to work for the insurance companies, and David Van Sant knows all the tricks. Again, I'm not blasting insurance companies. Thank God for insurance companies. I've used them before, but again, they're not going to pay any more than they have to. And like 25 years ago, one of them tried to give me a paint job. Somebody scratched my paint job, and they tried to pay me for a cheapo car when my car was quite expensive, and it was a multifaceted paint job thing, and I had to call them out. But again, you don't want to be going through that stuff. Get somebody to handle your stuff for you, and that's David Van Sant. He knows what to say, who to call, how to get around stuff, and they don't want to pay more than they have to, but he's going to make them pay more than they want to, I can tell you that. And again, the main thing to remember is he's in it for you. If you don't get paid, he doesn't get paid. It's all up to you. Insurance is complicated. They have charts and graphs and tables and all that kind of stuff, so they're going to look up and think, we're going to owe you this much. And David Van, no, hold on a second, pal. That's not how it works. Stuff like that.'s the phone number. Put it in your phone. Get yourself protected. Don't get in arguments and don't sign anything till you talk to David. Here's the number. 855-GA-INJURY. Online, vansantlaw.com.
Judge Napolitano here. The verdict is in. I've personally seen what goes on in D.C., and we could have some real challenges ahead. Congress can't stop spending money, the Fed can't stop printing money, and our national debt is increasing $1 trillion every 100 days. That's a wealth-destroying pace. Your dollars will buy less, and your retirement could be worth less. That's why gold is so important. It helps hedge against wealth destruction. I did my research, and it led me to gold, and that led me to Lear Capital. Over 25 years of experience, thousands of 5-star reviews, and a 24-hour risk-free purchase guarantee. I encourage everyone to call Lear for their free $3,200 gold report at 800-927-2400. There's no obligation, just free education. And ask how you can qualify for up to $15,000 in bonus gold. Call 800-927-2400. That's 800-927-2400. 800-927-2400.
Fox on Tech. Remember net neutrality? It still won't be a thing. A U.S. appeals court in Cincinnati says the Federal Communications Commission, as appointed by President Biden, can't reinstate the Obama-era rules preventing tiered use of internet bandwidth, dubbed net neutrality, because it promised to allow all creators and users equal access to both speeds and data allocation. The Trump-era FCC did away with those rules, and since then, a Supreme Court ruling called the Loper-Bright case ended the practice of allowing government agencies to interpret laws as they see fit. The appeals court now says this applies to the FCC. Opponents of so-called net neutrality argue it means service providers won't be bogged down with regulations that impact innovation. No word yet if the case will be appealed to the Supreme Court, though the return of President Trump would also mean net neutrality rules won't be promoted. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is Extra 106.3. We're at XTRA 106.3 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest latest on our live events, and so much more. Follow at XTRA 106.3 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice. XTRA 106.3 is proud to continue on as the conservative voice of Atlanta.
We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country.
The Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, Neil Bortz, local and national decision makers are all keeping it straight on the road toward the new Trump administration. This is XTRA 106.3 FM and streaming across Georgia on the XTRA 106.3 app.
3:39, Let It Rip Friday, anything goes. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. This was a huge hit song. Unbelievable. 2002, Zach Foley, the bass player with the British group EMF, died at 31 years old, drug overdose in 2002. EMF had this 1980 big hit, Unbelievable. Number 3 in Britain, number 1.
You're unbelievable.
In America Billboard chart, the name EMF is believed to be an abbreviation of, I'm going to be very careful here, Epsom Mad Funkers. Funkers, and I don't know what Epsom salt is. That Epsom salts, isn't that?
It's also a place in England, so maybe it's where they're from.
British group. Yeah. Anyway, that's Zach Foley. Unbelievable. And oh damn, I didn't get Mr. Phone here. We got something special coming up here in a second here, folks. Don't go away right now. Here we go. I did the Beatles. Here we go. And I remember this too. I talked about the Beatles being on TV, so I didn't erase that from my phone yet, but I'll do it later. Now, on this day in history, 1957, Hamilton Electric 500 is announced to the public. It was the first mass-produced battery-powered watch. The Hamilton Electric used a battery to power the balance wheel instead of a spring that needed winding. Although it didn't require winding, it needed frequent battery changes. It was a favorite of Elvis Presley, who wore one in the movie Blue Hawaii in 1961. And I remember the electric watches in 1957. And I also remember, and I don't know, Pete, you may have had one of these too. Did you ever have a radium watch that glowed in the dark?
I've never worn a watch.
You really? You've never worn it? Oh, my God.
I cannot stand anything on my hands or wrists.
Huh.
Drives me crazy. Except maybe a tennis sweatband was about the only thing I could ever take.
No kidding.
On my wrist.
Well, I don't know why. We all grew up. We all had. I got my first time.
Oh, radium. Everybody had radium.
Oh, we had radium watches, glowed in the dark. It was the uranium.
Cool.
Kill you. Sure.
Do you know
the people who made them all died of X-ray poison or whatever the hell it is.
You can go to Marie Curie's mausoleum in Paris.
It's probably still glowing.
It's lead lined.
Oh, it has to be
because she's got that much radiation coming out of her.
Still the ashes, for God's sakes, probably.
She would carry radium around in her pockets.
Good Lord. Really? Are you serious?
Because she would study it. And she used to sit at night and watch it glow.
Yeah. The people who made those watches all died from horrible radiation diseases. Not everyone, but most of them. And they did die young. It was horrible.
And the scientists said it was perfectly safe. Follow the science.
Yeah. Well, who knew at the time? They used to dump all the, PCBs in the local rivers in your community.
DDT.
GE, everybody said, well, throw it in a river, take it out the ocean, it'll be fine. Who knew?
Let's genetically modify your corn. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, take this injection in your fat in your belly. Yeah. In 10 years, who knows what it's going to do to you?
Yeah, that's right. That's all. And by the way, coming up, I'm going to talk about fat chicks and their deodorants. Okay, not right now. What's the matter?
No, we got Swatoon on the horn.
Hold everything. We had a special bye girl. Now I'm going to talk about. She left again. I'm going to talk about Bella's hair. And by the way, the Morning Virgin threw me under the bus this morning.
I didn't recognize her when she came. I didn't recognize her.
I'm telling you,
Don't talk about someone.
No. We'll do it next time. No. It's not. It's all in a happy way. I'm telling you, you're gonna. It'll be a fun thing.
You mean she's not usually? Is that what you're telling us?
No. See, there you go. But you said yourself you didn't even recognize who that was.
When I walked in, I didn't recognize her.
Well, now I'm going to tell my story, and you're going to totally understand. First, Swatoon, you're on the radio. Swatoon, thank you for joining us. What's up, sir?
Happy New Year, guys.
Thank you, sir.
I'm like Pete. I cannot wear anything. Anything I wear, watch, even the wedding ring, my skin breaks extremely bad.
Really?
So I cannot wear, literally, I cannot wear no jewelry of any kind.
What do you mean by, does it, you mean it gets a rash or gets cut or what?
It literally, the skin gets softened. It's like, you keep it under water or whatever.
Yeah.
And then eventually breaks and start bleeding.
Really? Oh my God! Holy cow! Yeah. Is that a genetic thing in your family, or is that? Do you know anything about that, or
just me? I'm not sensitive mentally, but I'm sensitive with the skin.
Well, I'll be darned. Well, that's interesting. Of course, nowadays I don't know. People wear watches and all. Everything's on your phone, or you see it.
Oh, Apple Watch. Everybody has that ugly thing on.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks, Swatoon. Have a great weekend, my friend. Happy New Year.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thanks. I appreciate it. 344. Can repeat and Flounder. Boys, Flounder. Oops, it is.
No, that's there we go.
Whoops. No.
This is rehearsal.
No, keep on going. And now, another edition of Not the Kimmer's Rainy Day Bad Text Theater Playhouse, where we endeavor to bring just the tiniest bit of a ray of sunshine and joy into the otherwise miserable lives of you, the little people. Our scene today, a typical American den in a typical American household. A man sits quietly on the couch, minding his own business, when suddenly his wife storms into the room and accusingly throws a question his way.
Who the hell is Ginny?
The surprised, innocent man replies,
What? What are you talking about?
I found a note in your pocket with the name Ginny on it. Who is this hussy?
I was at the track yesterday. Ginny is the name of the horse I bet on. Yeesh.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Never mind.
And the very next day, the man is sitting quietly on his sofa when a shoe flies across the room, striking him in the head.
Ouch. What was that for?
Your horse is on the phone.
And scene. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Giddy up go, little darling. Giddy up go. Another edition
is John there.
Not the Kimmer's Rainy Day Theater Bad Text Playhouse. And bringing a bit of joy, thanks to, author, raconteur, to Pete Davis, to joy of happiness into the miserable lives of you, the little people. Rainy Day Theater Playhouse. Dolly Factor. Good. There we go. Anyway.
Pretty good.
Stellar effort. Stellar effort, sir. I must be. By the way, our 3 o'clock hour, 346, brought to you by our friends at First Liberty Building and Loan. We say yes when the big banks say no at First Liberty GA. First Liberty GA. I can't speak anymore. I don't know what it is. GALiberty.com. There you go. LibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
Sounds like a good excuse not to wear a wedding ring, frankly.
Yeah, I think I stole. Never mind. I thought about that. 347. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Let her rip Friday. Oh, goody. Look out.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
Hey, Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. And now the security riddle of the day. When times get tough, where do you keep your stuff? Answer, in a quality safe from the Safe House, of course. Don't go to a big box store and get a fake safe. That would be as effective as Joe Biden's fake border policy. For over 30 years, the Safe House has been providing the best quality safes on the market. Brands like Browning, Fort Knox, and Champion. And with the largest selection of safes on display in Georgia, we're confident we can help you pick the right safe to fit your needs. So drop by our huge showroom or go to AtlantaSafehouse.com.
Judge Napolitano here. Can you believe the chaos we're facing today? Government is out of control, spending is out of control, and the dollar is dying. It's just a matter of time until digital money replaces cash. It's coming fast. So you need to get educated in other ways to invest and preserve the wealth you already have. Start now by calling Lear Capital at 800-927-2400. Get their free report, The Tipping Point. Learn what rising debt and a digital dollar could mean for your retirement. Do what I did. Buy gold from Lear Capital to protect your wealth. Over 25 years experience, thousands of 5-star reviews, and a 24-hour risk-free purchase guarantee. Lear is whom I trust when I buy gold. Get the report and up to $15,000 in bonus gold with a qualifying purchase. Call 800-927-2400. That's 800-927-2400. 800-927-2400.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 3 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffers from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. We provide testosterone replacement therapy, the P-shot, and treatment for ED, PE, and Peyronie's disease. There's not just one therapy that can solve these complex issues. When you visit our clinic, you're going to see me. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. 404-777-1911. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. 404-777-1911. Online at tbtofga.com.
The Kimmer Show is only on Extra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
You know, there's a soda fountain around the corner there.
I did not know that. Do we have a soda fountain?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What, we can buy sodas?
Tell them about the soda fountain.
All assorted soft drinks, Diet Coke, Coca-Cola.
You mean like an actual...
Right. Yeah.
Fanta. Yeah.
Now, how come I didn't know that?
Because you never go out of your little hole there.
I got stuff to do. I got, there's people out there. There's girls and everything.
There's
girls out there.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. The Morning Extra from 6 to 10. Glenn Beck until noon. Clay and Buck from noon to 3. And The Kimmer Show on your ride home from 3 to 6. Plus Jesse Kelly from 6 to 9. And Jimmy Vela from 9 to midnight. The voices you need all day with the conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
I don't know nothing about no girls. And Bella just walked, and Amanda just walked out here for the, I guess they're gone for the weekend and so forth. And once again, you didn't even recognize, we'll talk about that as WFM. First, is this Aretha? Or do you recognize this song?
Yes, it is. Rock Steady's the name of the song.
Ah, there you go. 1987, Aretha. Wow. Wow. Well, all right, here we go. Girl could sing. I keep thinking about her with the Blues Brothers at the diner. You better think, baby. Aretha Franklin, 1987, the first woman inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How is that possible? I know. I mean, she's not 1987. First of all, she's not rock and roll, really. And also, you mean to tell me that there hasn't been before 1987 Grace Slick or something? I mean, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Janis Joplin.
I mean, my God, I'm flummoxed. I'm going nuts trying to pay all the girls.
I used to want to go. Now I don't want to go anymore.
I mean, how about? I mean, the girl who died of cancer from Australia, wasn't she? That was
she went rock. Olivia Newton-John was pop.
I mean, well, whatever. I mean, but still, I mean, pop is rock and roll these days. Anyway, whatever. Aretha Franklin, first woman, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, 1987, which I think was amazing. She was not able to attend the ceremony. It doesn't say here why, but Rolling Stones' Keith Richards, along with Clive Davis and her brother Cecil, inducted Aretha with her poignant speech. Her brother said, "To be the first woman inductee into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a historical moment and indeed a milestone in my career." Aretha. Our birthday, I have a very shortened birthday list today. Founders guys off until Monday, and so I got these that I recognize. John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin is 79. Those guys have been around a long time, too. And in history, a little history thing here, I got my
get Mr. Fun there if I could. Oh, this is a horrible story, and you're going to hear the names again about 2 more breaks from now, and I'm going to mention them again for a whole another reason many, many years later. On this day in 1942, 5 brothers named Sullivan from Iowa enlist in the U.S. Navy in 1942 on this day with the stipulation that they all serve together. During the Battle of Guadalcanal, 10 months later, their ship was sunk and they all died. All 5 Sullivan brothers. This was the greatest military loss by any one American family in World War II. The ship USS The Sullivans was named after the Sullivan brothers, and on the 58th anniversary of their enlisting, Al-Qaeda tried to bomb that boat filled with explosives as part of the year 2000 Millennium attacks. But the attackers' boat was overloaded and sank before it blew up. And there were rules after that where brothers or family members were not allowed to serve because of that.
Yeah.
And by that, now there was a stipulation that if you if you demanded it, they would, they're not going to prevent you from. But the rule was that you're not supposed to serve.
He blew us a kiss, I guess.
Not supposed to serve, or a squeaky. Well, I don't know. Something came out somewhere. Anyway, in fact, my brother Gene was going to be drafted, and he joined the Army when I was in the Marines going to Vietnam, so he wouldn't have to go. Yeah. You could deliberately, they would plan that so you wouldn't have to go. Anyway, whatever.
Did you see this story from Colin Rugg, which came down late yesterday? The New Orleans police superintendent, the one that looks like, she's 80 years old.
Yeah, the old hag.
Admitted to the media she did not know about the sidewalk barriers that didn't work. She didn't know they existed.
Again, I'm telling you, God loved New Orleans. I'm sorry everything happened. My daughter Sarah was born there. My starter wife and I lived there for many years.
My parents went to honeymoon there.
So I got all the New Orleans things you want to, but it's a rotten town. It's a cesspool. It's poor. It's stupid. The education system's a disaster. There are no city services. There's no tax base. There's no companies. There's no factories. There's no businesses. It's all service industry.
No one with a brain.
And if tourists don't come, it's over. Literally, there's nothing to support it, and the people are dumb and uneducated. There's no public schools. It's just horrible, horrible, in many ways. But God bless the things that I care about it. So, and I don't know what we're talking. And again, so I'm not surprised. And again, the reason the barricades weren't working is because they're new, and the reason they're new is because someone finally decided, oh God, you know what? We have the Superdome, a Super Bowl coming up, so we better get some barricades up there to protect the center. So they said, okay, let's get some. So they made some, and they don't work. So it's typical. This is exactly what the city is. This is how the city operates.
She makes Beverly Harvard.
Yeah. And she wouldn't have any idea about that. Well, how would she? Somebody's doing this on the side, and they don't coordinate with something. I'm not surprised that she wouldn't have any idea what's going on. Have you seen the mayor? She's a gangbang. It's a disgraceful.
God. Why have we handed over our urban centers for the last half century or more to what seems like the lowest common denominator of brains who have destroyed our inner cities? They didn't used to be like that.
It's the left took over on the cell phones of the world, and all of a sudden people say, oh boy, that poor George Floyd, those damn cops murdered that poor man, some 14-year-old girl in Iowa, and she had no idea, and all of a sudden now they're all against police activities. This is how you elect people saying, well, we're going to defund the police. These are all defund the police
This
people.
is way before, though. I understand that segregation was bad back in the day, and they didn't allow black people in certain parts of town and everything like that. Yeah. Okay, fine. It's totally reversed now, where it's mainly black African Americans running the cities.
Right.
Why is it rampant in crime, as Clay mentioned earlier? Why is it rampant in crime and violence and all that stuff?
Yeah. Look at the mayor of Chicago being blamed, and he's doubling down, saying we're going to block the INS people coming in here and everything else. And the blacks of Chicago, the black voters of Chicago, saying you've got to be. They're all going nuts about it.
When was the last time either you two were in downtown Atlanta?
Oh, I'm not. No, thank you.
It's been.
That's why I moved out of there.
I do no, sir. 358 Flounders, middle of Flounders funny, Nucky's Hoagies, Stacy and Shannon, your sponsors.
Winter Olympics are pointless. I'll say it. Are you kidding me? I assume the only reason we have them is so white people feel relevant in sports. Because other than that, the only thing the Winter Olympics show me is which country has more rich white kids. What's it cost to go skiing? $900 a day? Oh, I can't believe that's not more popular in the inner cities. Hey, Latrell, you want to play basketball today? No, man, I'm going to Breckenridge. Oh, Lottie, Uncle Tom Da. Latrell's going to Breckenridge. I hate the summer games for that matter. I just don't want parents to be rewarded for encouraging their kids to forfeit their entire childhood perfecting a sport no one cares about for 3 years and 11 months at a time. Then for 1 month, I got to act as if the vault affects my patriotism. It doesn't. I hope you missed the jump and ribcage it.
Oh, man. I never missed the girls on the vault or the balance beam or the floor exercise. Oh, I guess I'm kind of being obvious now. I never missed the girls. I'm sorry. I love the gymnast girls. I can't stop watching them.
You put Olivia Dunn posters on your ceiling.
No, don't even give me an idea. I don't sleep as it is. By the way, coming up, though, that Cybertruck guy, man, chicks.
It's women. For both of these guys, it was women breaking up with them.
That's right.
That put them over the edge.
Marriage is over, and boom, bam, pow. And by the way, it's almost divorce day. Right, this month, divorce day. Coming up to Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, almost 4 o'clock. And Holy Crap of Sports, Pete's Tweet. Let's do Pete's Tweets coming up in the next 15 minutes, too. And so much more with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Look at it.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta's Safe House.
The House elects a speaker. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. Louisiana Republican Mike Johnson re-elected by a single vote majority after 2 Republican representatives-elect changed their initial votes to Johnson. In his address to the House, Speaker Johnson pledged to do what Americans have said they want done.
We've witnessed something happening, something that's really remarkable, a political moment in our modern history. A groundswell of Americans from every state, race, and religion who now demand that we put the interest of Americans first again, and we will.
The Speaker promised to drastically slash the size of the federal workforce to make it leaner, faster, and more efficient. One of the first orders of business for the new Congress is a joint session on Monday to certify the results of November's election, a process interrupted 4 years ago by an incursion of protesters at the Capitol. Won't happen this time, according to U.S. Capitol Police Chief Tom Menger.
The United States Capitol Police are better staffed, better trained, better equipped than ever before to protect our Capitol and to protect our Congress.
Cybersecurity is an issue. President Biden briefed on the breach of the U.S. Treasury Department's systems by Chinese state-sponsored hackers. In the name of national security, the president has blocked a big steel merger,
saying the acquisition would place one of America's largest steel producers under foreign control and create risks for U.S. national security and critical supply chains. The Committee on Foreign Investment, a federal interagency panel, deadlocked over whether or not to recommend the merger, so the decision was left to the president.
Fox's Jenny Casola, President-elect Trump and the Steelworkers Union both opposed the proposed merger of U.S. Steel with Japan's Nippon Steel, despite U.S. Steel's warning it could lead to plant closures. Big gains on Wall Street. Unofficially, the Dow closes 339 points higher. NASDAQ up 340. America's listening to...
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call
Call 800-893-2288. 800-893-2288. 800-893-2288.
There we go. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer, Pete Davis, Flounder.
Set that there.
Got the thing there. Put that down. There's somebody.
Me.
Unleash the monster. Hey, you put your eye out on that thing. That's what she said.
You're playing with it. Put it down.
I can't stop. I tell you. I don't even know what we're talking about. I was going to drop my phone and guy led to this. Dear Lord. 404. What do you got here, Flounder? This is Bob Dylan. Here we go. Let's play a little Bob Dylan.
Baby Dylan.
Hurricane. Well, no, he stopped singing. It's
not that great.
1976, Dylan's song Hurricane peaked at 33 on the Billboard chart.
No chorus, no bridge. It's just him singing the entire song for over 9 minutes.
Wow. Holy cow. And again, it's important because it was only peaking at number 33 on Billboard singles chart, but it helped to cause enough publicity to eventually get former boxer Reuben Hurricane Carter released from jail. The song Hurricane, again, the movie was Hurricane, a story about the boxer. The song promoted his innocence and a movie about his life starring Denzel Washington, released in 2000. And Hurricane Carter, as I understand it, was innocent. It wasn't just that he may not have done as bad as they thought, but I think he actually didn't do it. It was a murder.
I don't know.
After 20 years or 25 years, he got out. Anyway, they cancel this. Let's see, our day in history thing here. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. On this day in 1970, the Beatles record I, Me, Mine. 1970. It was that last new song recorded before their split the following April. It was written by George Harrison, released on their 1970 album Let It Be. The lyrics to I, Me, Mine represented Harrison's complaint about the stifling egos of John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Lennon did not attend the recording session as he and Yoko were on vacation. The Beatles continued to do studio work together until August, but this was their last new song recorded until 1994, when they recorded the television documentary, The Beatles Anthology. Anyway, kind of bizarre. 404-741-1230, 741-1230, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 406. And let's see, okay, to the newsy stuff. All right, and by the way, Cybertruck stuff and the Vegas bomber and the New Orleans attacker both had girl problems, a lot of girl problems. The Vegas Cybertruck Unibobber, Matthew, I'm not going to lose his whole name there, apparently preyed on his first wife, mocked her struggles with depression. Stacy Wilsons lived next door to the wife and said he was highly decorated Army soldier. He was bizarre, unhealthy. He preyed on her. She disliked the guy so much she mostly opted to spend time with his wife when he was off on deployment. The wife was trying to get healthy, the friend says. He would mock her. Nothing ever stable or steady between the two of them. They got divorced in 2018, polar opposites. In 2016, this guy was referring to his wife as Sarah Beans. At one point in their clip on vacation, he chided his wife, saying that she was not allowed to be weird at the airport. You're going to embarrass me. Anyway, he mocked her pretty good. She since remarried and is healthy, which is nice. He remarried too in 2022. Let's see. The wife of this just happened too. His wife, after remarried, his wife broke up with him 6 days before he committed the Cybertruck attack. He left his Colorado Springs home the day after Christmas after a fight with his wife over apparent infidelity, and apparently his wife told him that she knows that he was cheating on her. And they have a baby daughter together. She told him that she knew he was cheating, and they got in a big fight, and off he went. Now the investigators are saying, geez, I wonder if that motive for this whole thing was strictly personal rather than political. When the first inclination, it was a Tesla in front of Trump Tower. I mean, what else do you have to say?
But again, they have to say
he
this.
wanted attention before he killed himself.
But again, I still don't understand. Well, I'll get to the bottom line. I still understand it. But anyway, of course, outside the Trump thing there, and of course, the knuckleheads did. That truck was a great truck. One other thing, by the way, the truck bomber guy, this guy Matthew, playfully reached out to his old girlfriend at 9 o'clock that morning after he left the Colorado Springs home after his wife confronted him for cheating. He called his ex-girlfriend Alicia, and he said, "I rented a Tesla Cybertruck. It's the blank." The single mother says, "Gee, it was nice to hear." Here's what his old girlfriend said. This girl had married and since had a child, but they stopped talking after the breakup 3 years ago. Now, the single mother says it was nice to hear from her old boyfriend, the Cybertruck killer, as he sent several more messages along with photos and videos of the truck. He said, "I feel like Batman or Halo," referring to a superhero video game franchise thing. The futuristic truck caught the girl's attention, leading her to ask how fast it goes. He said, "Ungodly." Then they talked about what he was up to. He says he never gave any indication, but he says, "I'm building drones in my new position. You would love it." The girl, his ex-girlfriend, who broke up with him 3 years ago, describes the Cybertruck murderer as the kindest man, or suicide guy trying to kill people. She described him as the kindest man she ever knew and said he once bought his sick mother a new home.
You snap.
Yeah, he had a fight with his current wife and took off. And now we have, I got a news story here. And now this, too, the guy from New Orleans was divorced 3 times, financially struggling before his attack, mowing down 14 people. Plagued by financial troubles with one of the big accounting firms. He was working for a Deloitte, one of the big 4 consulting firms, made $125,000 a year, but he could not overcome serious debt, could not make his court-ordered child support payments. His kids 2 daughters were 5 and 8. He was ordered to pay $2,200 a month. He married a second wife in 2013, divorced her here in Georgia, in DeKalb County 3 years later. Studied computer science at Georgia State. He was married a 3rd time to Chantel in 2017, had a 3rd child, a son, divorced her 3 years later. And he said his property management company was losing money. "I can't afford the house payment," he said, "is past due and owe $27,000. They're going to foreclose it if we delay settling the divorce. I misunderstood the terms of the loan modification I applied for at the time." Anyway, so here we go. And divorces and money and struggle. Now, I can't imagine that's the reason he did that. Obviously, it was ISIS flag head, But again, chicks in the background of these things. Not that you can't blame the woman for doing all the things. Anyway, so don't, get off my back. However, check this out. MSNBC's Lawrence O'Donnell. Hey, Larry. Lawrence O'Donnell makes a claim that people like me, who are ex-military, pose a greater threat than any illegal immigrant. Okay? Larry O'Donnell at MSNBC says Americans should look to their fellow citizens, specifically U.S. military personnel and not illegal aliens, as instigators of terrorism in the United States. Founder, I believe you have some sound of Mr. Larry O'Donnell here, do you? Sir?
No one who has ever crossed the southern border in the history of the existence of the southern border has killed more people in this country than Timothy McVeigh, who was born in Lockport, New York, the northwest part of the state, into a white Roman Catholic American family with roots in this country that go back farther than Donald Trump's roots in this country. The New Orleans terrorist, like Timothy McVeigh, reached the rank of sergeant in the United States Army. The simple fact is, this country has suffered more deadly terrorism at the hands of American-born citizens who are veterans of the United States military than people who have crossed into this country at the southern border. Mm-hmm. It is very clear from the evidence that if you want to worry about terrorism in this country, the United States Army is a much bigger problem than the southern border. No one crossed the southern border.
He wants 0 viewers
on January 6th, 4 years ago. but several veterans of the United States military violently attacked the Capitol on January 6th.
Oh, for God's sakes, violently attacked my ass.
Congress.
The only violent attack was a cop who shot an innocent protesting woman in the neck. And if she had been a Democrat and that had been a Republican, he would have been lynched.
That was a violent attack. Some of you Democrats wouldn't have seen the next day.
Gee, we forgot our guns.
Yeah.
You poor protesters forgot your guns in this violent attack.
You know, it's funny how he's keying on terrorism. He's not pointing out all the rapes and the murders that the people come across the border have committed in just this last year.
Yeah. I mean, the very idea.
That's hating of the U.S. military.
Yeah.
Do they want 4 people watching that damn network?
You know, and again, I'm telling you,
they hate America.
They hate veterans. They hate. I mean, these freaking woke. You know, this is so offensive. I really take these things personally. You can't. I mean, I can't help. I'm sorry. And again, I'm a nothing. I'm nothing in terms of military stuff. Absolute nothing. And I'm very offended by this guy. I mean, it's just freaking outrageous. I should punch him in the face. I can't. I won't. I don't even know him and stuff. But honest to God, I hate this. I'm angry about it. It's typical.
He is a platform. It's free speech.
That's what he's doing.
It's free speech.
Right.
Show us what you believe so we know what you are.
I defend his right to do it.
That's right.
Again, I offered my life in return for the freedoms and liberty of Americans back here at home and the violence of the...
but if someone wants to take a swing at him...
That's right.
I'm not going to cry.
I mean, this is just so offensive. The military...
blames the U.S. military.
It's more dangerous.
Well, so the synopsis is he wants to keep the border open because nobody coming across that border is going to hurt us.
Well, it's safer than having people go in the military, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I mean, honestly, it's just... You know, it's just you want
to put these migrants next door to him.
Yeah.
Where does he live?
Yeah. Give him a code to your gated community, Larry, and see how.
If I'm the governor of Texas, the next bus is going to Larry's neighborhood.
Have them camp out in your backyard for a while when they take over your neighborhood and put up tents. Put up tents on your sidewalk. See how you like.
How about this? Wait outside of any jail in Texas where one of these illegals is being held, and when they get out of their sentence, put them on a bus
right there
and send them to Larry's neighborhood.
And put them all where the running trails are too, where all the college girls go running in the afternoon.
Well, let's don't hurt the college girls. How about just Larry?
But just Larry's house. Have cops watching them though all the way. Anyway, God, 4:15. Give her Pete and Flounder. Tweets coming up next. Pete.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, XTRA 106.3.
Well, here we are, a new year, and I'm not going to worry about putting 2025 on checks because who writes checks anymore? Question today, what was the big story of 2024? At my age, surviving it. But I mean for the whole country. A lot of people might say it's the election. Donald Trump being reelected. Big story, to be sure. But it was going to happen one way or the other. Happens every 4 years. To me, the big story of this year was CBS, ABC, NBC, CNN, all of the alphabet networks, the Washington Times, the Washington Post, New York, the major newspapers, everybody out there hiding the sad decline of Joe Biden, the President of the United States. They knew about this. They understood that he was in severe cognitive decline. They understood that he was in no shape to be running this country. And understanding that, they had to wonder who is calling the shots. Yeah, the Democrats knew it, but it wasn't their job to report it to us, to let us know. The mainstream media knew it. It was their job to let us know, but they failed miserably and intentionally. They didn't want to boost the chances for a Republican president of the United States. For them, the sad realization right now is that if they had reported this, if they had thereby forced Joe Biden into actual primary contests with other Democrat candidates, Donald Trump would not be president today in all likelihood. But but they hit it and they defeated their own purpose, that being making sure a Democrat was in the White House. Can you expect them to step forward now and do their job? Yeah, right. 2025, going to be an interesting year. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
You may know that ATL Turf Co. has become a leader in artificial grass design and installation services, but you may not know that ATL Turf Co. is a large artificial grass distributor. We only sell U.S.-made, premium-name brand turf at factory direct pricing below wholesale. And now we're open to the public with large inventories of lawn and landscape, putting green, athletic, and pet turf on sale. Plus, all remnants are on sale for only $1 per square foot, direct from Dalton to our warehouse in Kennesaw. Visit atlturfco.com to learn more. atlturfco.com.
Election season is here, and regardless of which side of the aisle you're on, we can all experience the stress of uncertainty. Fear of the unknown can cause us to postpone important decisions that impact our lives, especially in retirement planning. Resist hesitation and contact Masterplan Retirement Consultants, a holistic retirement planning firm dedicated to creating a retirement plan to help with all of life's surprises. Through income planning and money management, legacy planning, and tax planning, we create a plan specifically designed for your life to see you to and through retirement. Don't leave your retirement up to chance. Create a plan for your retirement and pursue peace of mind. Visit masterplanretire.com. Masterplan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Masterplan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Masterplan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
I like this song. Hate this song. I love this song.
I hate this song.
I love this song.
This was the ex's favorite song.
Oh, sorry, Bob. Sorry.
I don't.
Saturday night. Saturday night.
You're the next Beatles.
Oh, a little bubblegum rock and roll here for 1976, the Bay City Rollers, baby. There we go. Saturday night is Saturday night. There we go. Tonight, Saturday night. Bay City Rollers, #1 in America. But Saturday night, the height of their success, the Scottish group signed a deal to promote breakfast cereal and had their own weekly TV show in Britain. Bay City Rollers, 1976. I always like that song. It's a happy song. Our birthday list, I only have a few on here today, and I'll give you one now. The formerly luscious Victoria Principal, 75.
Yeah. Still,
I think she had funny knees, but she's a very
I'm not looking at her knees.
Yeah, we don't care about her knees.
When I was in San Diego, I used to look up the coast and think, just 2 hours up the coast is Victoria Principal.
Victoria Principal. And she was 75 years old today.
Beautiful
for her.
woman.
And we got hold on, something special here. We just I got.
What are you doing?
Oh, we got. I got it right here. Hold on a second. Here we go. My history thing, and then we're going to do Pete's tweets, and then we got like 3 breaking new things, which are just bizarre, which we'll get to in a second. Okay, first of all, on this day, 1977, and this is a little short thing here, but it was a major event in our history as New America. On this day, 1777, the Battle of Princeton actually fought near Princeton, New Jersey, the American Revolution. It was a small victory for the colonials, but it showed that George Washington's ragtag amateur army could defeat the British Redcoats. And this was a small skirmish, but we won. And it showed them and us both something about the revolution in 1777. And again, it was 12 years after that we got our Constitution.
You know what that saved us from? From going to sporting events and being fed French fries with green peas on them and gravy on top of that.
Oh, God. Green peas on French fries?
That's what they think is a stadium food over in England.
In England?
England.
Green pea or beans?
French fries with green peas on top and gravy on top of that.
Now, fries and gravy is it's an American tradition. The diners I love fries and gravy. I used to get that all the time. In fact, you can still get it in some little place where I used to live with the kids back in the 80s.
Canada.
You can still go get fries and gravy. Just like the movie Diner.
Not around here.
I know. All right, 423. We got so much more coming up. But also we have this. We got memes, and we got jokes, and we got liners, and we got Flounders Funnies, and we got things, we got tweets, and we got stuff. And we got a lot of holy crap at sports and more ESPN. But first, we got Pete with King Pete's tweets.
All right. Just found this on the internet, and Founder has pulled it up.
Oh.
Hakeem Jeffries came within 3 votes of being the Speaker of the House today.
We were watching the vote, couldn't believe it.
And if all the ones, I can see them putting a Democrat up, but he's just a moron. Okay, so he got up in front of Congress and gave a little speech, and here's what he said.
The American dream possible. We will fight hard for the freedom to vote.
Play it again, Sam.
What? The American dream possible. We will fight hard for the freedom to vote.
We will fart hard.
We will fart hard for the freedom to vote. By the way, don't we already have the freedom to vote, and don't we have the freedom to fart?
Actually, it's not a right to vote.
Well, no, it's not in the Constitution.
No, it's not.
But there is not. I don't know a single state that says you don't have the right to vote.
I know everyone says it, but there really is no right to vote.
It's not written down in the Constitution.
That's how close that idiot came to being.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Jonathan has a Christmas tip for next season.
Excellent. I'll take it.
Wrap empty boxes and put them under the tree.
Yeah.
Every time your child acts up, throw one in the fireplace. To which Cecilia replied, "What if I run out of kids?"
No, ma'am. No. You throw the present, you see, the box.
The look on their faces would just be priceless.
Yeah, but that's cruel. I don't even like it.
I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Not me, no.
This is why I'm not a parent.
Yeah.
Lisa tweets, instead of Elf on a Shelf, let's try You in a Pew this Sunday.
You in a pew.
In 2016, the Sun newspaper in London reported by the year 2025.
Now.
Women would be having more sex with robots than real men.
When was this printed?
2016, 9 years ago.
Oh, no. Who did this?
The Sun newspaper.
In Britain?
In Britain. You've got a Sun.
The most famous.
It's not the most famous, but it's up there. It's one of the top 3 or 4.
Cow.
And Judy posted this nugget of joy.
Yeah.
3 women talking. One says, the other day this guy asked me if I wanted to stroke his Cocker Spaniel. With hindsight, I should have chosen the Spaniel.
Hey, ho, lucky. Ho, I didn't know it was an either-or question. That's why I misunderstood entirely. 426, give Pete and Flounder. I got a message from my buddy Peter, and he sent me the deal that that old hag police chief, a girl in New Orleans you saw, used to be the police chief in Oakland, and she was a chief from 2017 to 2020. Then got fired. She was the first female chief in Oakland. Got fired by an independent commission. She sued, claiming wrongful termination for exposing corruption. She received a settlement. New Orleans hired her. And then Pete just said somebody just told the world now that she didn't have any idea that there were even barricades being put into. She
was in front of some reporters, and she said, "I didn't know about those things." And she was fired somewhere else, and so they hire her somewhere else just because she's a woman.
Yeah,
she's a white woman. Yeah, she's a woman. That's why our inner cities are going to crap.
It's DE again. You can't. And it's all the whole place is the only Republican there is the governor of Louisiana, which is ironic, and a couple of congressmen, thank God,
because of the rest of the state's conservative.
But and again, it's never going to change. When I was there in 1974, 5 or whatever it was.
It's the weather. It's mosquitoes. It's the disease. The fact that the whole damn city is 12 feet underwater.
Yeah. Well, there's no tax base, so there's no support for anything. The city services are
Why would you
terrible.
build a city there is what kills me.
Well,
you stand up on that canal and you look down at St. Charles and everything, and you're looking down at the city with the water behind you.
It's literally below sea level. I mean, that's why it flows. And Lake Pontchartrain is a bowl of water, and when the wind comes in, it goes up on one side and then whoosh, off it goes the other side. And there's nothing there to block it. I mean, they can build all the levees they want.
I think it's P.J. O'Rourke said, we should sell Louisiana while we can, get what we can for it. Because basically, it's just a puddle of water underneath that bridge that goes over Pontchartrain.
Yeah, that's right. That was my first marathon. I ran that bridge is 24 miles long.
It's long.
The marathon is 26 miles, and we started literally 1 mile before the entrance of the bridge and ended 1 mile after the entrance to the bridge. And again, I was hoping to have scenery, but again, you're going over the water for 24 miles. It took me 4 hours. I hurt myself. My leg went. I tore a ligament, so I had to run one-legged for 24 miles.
January 3rd, the first
luckily,
marathon
Mackie
story.
Showstone rode.
Oh my God!
Mackie Showstone ran with me, and in fact, he felt so bad when my knee went that he ran backwards for most of the time with me for the entire 4 hours. It took me 4 hours to finish that 26 miles.
When I get home, Flounder, remind me to mark on the calendar the first Mickey Shellstein story was on the 3rd.
There was a famous trainer to world famous athletes like the great shortstop Ozzie Smith and the entire hockey teams and the San Francisco Giants.
St. Louis Blues.
And St. Louis Blue, anyway. A couple of quick stories here. In fact, get that British story here with that girl you're talking about in the children thing. A judge has now denied Donald Trump's bid to dismiss the hush money case, and that freaking scumbag Judge Marchand in New York has now sent the sentencing date for Donald Trump for January 10th. 10 days before he's inaugurated. He's kept the jury verdict finding Trump guilty for 34 felonies for that ridiculous payoff scandal where his lawyer said, sign this, and sign this, and it cost Donald Trump 34 convictions of felonies. And he could go to prison for, 18 years or something? They rejected his claim that it should vanish because he elected to a second term. The judge said it's in the best public interest to bring closure to the case before he's inaugurated. Finding no legal impediment to sentencing and recognizing that presidential immunity will likely attach once defendant takes his oath of office. It is incumbent upon this court to set this matter down for the imposition of sentence prior to January 20th. It's this court's firm belief that only by bringing finality to this matter will all three interests be served. No legal impediment recognizing immunity will likely attach once he takes office. So he's trying to beat him before he gets immunity from being president of the United States. You dirty, rotten slime bag. The whole trial, this has all got to be overturned in the end by every possible court that reviews it. I mean, there's no way this can be acceptable. Now, another story breaking here, which I just appalling. It can't be true.
That basically over the last few years, and this came up years ago in the city of Rotherham, I believe, over in England. And it turns out there's some Pakistani Muslim rape groomers, basically raping young English white girls, 10, 12, 13 years old. Went on for years and years and years, and the English government and the police in the city covered it up. There's incidents where they would go over there and there'd be 13-year-old girls drunk in the house, and they had been raped, and they arrested the girls for being drunk. They didn't arrest any of the rapists. They would arrest the parents who would go to the house and beat up the guys and take their little girls out, and the police would show up and arrest the parents. This went on for years. Well, it seems like there's been over 1 million of these girls raped in England.
That's
all over. And the government has covered it up for 20
years. Is this afraid of offending?
Years. Yes, exactly. They're afraid of causing racial unrest and offending Muslims. And especially the Pakistani ones that are there doing it. And one of the chief, I don't know what they call it, it's a female that's kind of in charge of religion and stuff like that. She says, well, they're raised that way, that you're supposed to be able to rape white women and white girls to humiliate them, to show them that they should be what you want.
It's God's view.
Yeah, it's God's will. It's Allah's will.
Yeah, it's Allah's.
Screw him. But anyway, that's what they want.
Right.
And so basically, Elon Musk is weighing in about this because it's just growing over there. And it seems it's both mainly labor, and the conservatives as well have covered this up for a generation or two now. And we're talking over 1 million young girls, and Elon's weighing in and saying these people need to be outed. Who did this? Who did this what? And they just came out with one of the labor, it's a white woman, had basically tried to lower the age of consent in England to 10 so they could help cover up any of these rapes, these statutory rapes that were going on, saying, well, yeah, if the age of consent is 10, we can't really charge them on rape. That's the Labor government. And Elon's calling it the worst example of an attack on the English people in their history.
I'll tell you, Elon Musk is doing a lot of corresponding and commenting on what's going on in Europe. I mean, he really is an international force.
Well, he sees what I see, that basically it's a wave. It's like things start in California and move east. Well, things start in Europe and they move west. Yeah. And if you don't stop it, we're going to have to be sending more boys and girls over there for the third time in a century to save their ass, which I don't think we should this time.
Well, I mean,
they've made this mess. They've made their bed hard, as my great grandmother said. Now lay in it.
Yeah. Well, that's really appalling.
And it was
it didn't pass. I assume it didn't pass to lower the age of consent to 10.
It didn't pass, but they covered it up anyway.
Good
and someone's saying, they posted it's a great video, saying we can't take our country back. There's too many of them. We can't deport them. So, well, here's a video of Spain in the 1400s that was completely Muslim until Ferdinand and what was the woman's name? Ferdinand and Catherine. Or Isabella. Ferdinand and Isabella. Two Christian kings and queens married, and they slowly pushed south.
Yeah.
And it took, 100 years or so? Yeah. But they got their country back.
Yeah. Wow. Well, there's an idea. It's 4:34. Holy cow. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Let It Rip Friday. 404-741-1230 if you want to join us. We got so much more coming up.
The latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust. Your best new follow on social media is XTRA 106.3. We're at XTRA 106.3 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events, and so much more. Follow at XTRA 106.3 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
I have 4:35, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Have you made your New Year's resolution to get that health insurance plan taken care of? Oh, I even didn't think of those words, and you go through this and, oh, Lord, what now? Well, here's the great news. It's Trump Care to the rescue. Introducing Trump Care, the health insurance doctor. That's the guy. His name is Stephen, but you can call him the health insurance doctor. He's got you covered. Healthy, self-employed, small business owner, maybe close to Medicare, maybe on a COBRA plan, whatever. All kinds of stuff going on. And the health insurance doctor may have a plan that can save you up to 60% annual premiums with Trump Care plans. Nationwide PPO things, whatever that is. Going to your doctor without shelling out the $50. Maybe the hospital of your choice. Maybe no deductibles and copays and stuff. And guess what? Plans available year-round. No more open enrollment issues. No hard-to-get subsidies. I don't even know about that stuff. There are IRS penalties and stuff. I don't know about that stuff either, but the health insurance doctor sure does with Trump Care. And by the way, he'll work all this out for you, get your plan, figure out what you need, and take care of it. He reads the fine print, and all these health insurance people, they have files and data and charts and fine print and tables. He loves going through stuff like that. He's been doing it for decades. Thousands of very happy Metro Atlanta customers, by the way. Here's the number for Stephen. Put this in your phone: 678-523-0759. 678-523-0759. And again, remember, you don't have to pay him. It's free. He'll do all this work for you for nothing. I don't know how they work it out, but it's free to you. On the web, check them out, healthinsurancedoctor.net.
The new year is a time of reflection on the past year and hope for the year to come. Last year was a turbulent time for Israel and the Jewish people. The devastating and ongoing multi-front war, an unprecedented rise in global anti-Semitism, and the loss of many Jewish lives. But there has also been an uprising of love and support from you, the listeners, and by the organization, the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. Your support of IFCJ has saved lives and answered prayers. Thanks to the generosity of people in the United States, bomb shelters have been built and placed. Life-saving food and emergency supplies have been provided to evacuees and those in critical need. And protective gear and medical equipment has been distributed to first responders on the front lines. There is still more work to do. Join the movement of those who have raised their voices to support Israel and the Jewish people. We ask you to continue your prayers and ongoing support today by visiting supportifcj.org. That's one word, supportifcj.org.
Atlanta radio legends, proud military vets, national network experts are all on XTRA 106.3.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months.
With live and local shows in the morning and afternoon, and the biggest conservative hosts in the country throughout the day. We are always here with the latest news and opinions you need.
There's no chance if the media and the Department of Justice and social media are all against you.
No traffic interruptions, no former shock jocks, just Atlanta legends you've turned to for a generation. The conservative voice of Atlanta. XTRA 106.3 FM and the XTRA app.
The Pinkster. Floyd Rooney. 1972. 2 weeks of rehearsals. Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. That tour began at the Bedminster in London. I might have added a syllable in there. The Berkshire near Bedminster. In London, the venue was owned by the Rolling Stones. Where Pink Floyd did Dark Side of the Moon tour, beginning 2 weeks of rehearsals, 1972. Yeah. Let's see, our birthday. I got one more birthday. I got three left. In fact, I'll do this one. Do you know the girl Danica McKellar? Yeah. The actress? She's 50 years old today. And I remember, I really don't know her well, but I kind of did some checking up on her. And I've always thought she was a doll. She always seemed happy and bright. And I really don't know much about her roles, but she always seemed like she always played a kind of upbeat and happy.
So that show was on when I was in my 20s?
She was in Wonder Years. Yeah. She was in the Wonder Years. That had to be 20 years ago anyway.
Oh, no, that had to be
40 years ago.
She was what, 10, 11?
Yeah, oh, my God, that's right. She had to be in the 70s. I had to be early 80s. Had to be early 80s. She's 50, so it had to be early 80s. Can you believe that?
I thought it was the 90s.
That's when I remember first seeing her when she was a little girl. She was in Danica McKellar, 50 years old, was in Wonder Years. She was in, she was a math writer. Did you know that?
Oh, she's brilliant.
Well, she's a math writer and tries to make math interesting. Here are the titles of just a few of her books. I mean, there's a million of them. Here's a few of her books. Kiss My Math, Math Doesn't Suck, Hot Algebra, Good at Numbers, Girls Get Curves, Geometry Takes Shape, Do Not Open This Math Book, and Bath Time, Math Time for children and stuff. How cute is that, though? And she's a brilliant woman. Danica McKellar, 50 years old. Well, that's kind of cool. Also, I got a little history thing here for you, which I thought was interesting. In fact, the guy who first thought of this, you really have to give him credit for it. It was in 1888. Now, think about this. A guy named Marvin Chester Stone, Washington, D.C., creates a patent for a paper drinking straw. Who do you suppose came up with the first way of sucking liquid from a tube into your mouth? I mean, I'm trying to figure out the way that someone would have figured out that, this is a good way to get that liquid in.
A reed in the pond, they probably would see that you could make water go up and down the reed.
Well, I'm trying to think of the way.
Archimedes had the screw where he could bring water up through the tube with this screw, so you had to know it would go up a tube.
But at some point, someone had to suck in to get it to go up the tube.
I guarantee
who was the first one who did that?
It's a reed, and they broke off the reed, and they sucked up some water through the reed. And blew it on somebody.
Yeah, well, the first pea shooter.
Yeah.
The first pea shooter. Well, in 1888, this guy made the drinking straw out of paper. They were typically made from rye grass.
ryegrass straws quickly deteriorated in liquid and had a grassy flavor to the drink, obviously.
I hate to interrupt.
All right, sir.
But we have phone calls.
Oh, my God. Well, let's get that now. To the phone, file 442.
Right, first we got Mr. Fish Sticks.
Mr. Fish Sticks, welcome aboard, Mr. Fish Sticks. How's it going, man? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. Congratulations for another one.
Well, you're very kind.
Well, I don't know. My question's actually more for Pete. But how long is it going to take, and or what's the over and under on filling out the bingo card?
Oh, for the
whole bingo card?
The new year?
I'm going to drag this out till May anyway.
He's already gotten two. He got one yesterday. I forget what it was.
Yeah, how about you all kiss my ass? How about that? There's a good start to the new year.
Mickey
how about you can eat me and then kiss my ass? There you go. Mr. Fish Sticks. How about fish this where you stay? There you go, right there. Yeah, little tartar sauce for old Mr. Fish Sticks.
They don't kill the messenger.
All right, now we got Rick the Painter.
Rick the Painter.
Rick the Painter.
There we go.
What a follow-up.
It's a daily double. How you doing there, Rick the Painter? What's up?
Hey, Kimmer, brother. Hey, man, I know I called a lot. Last year I called a lot.
Well,
I know that.
It's all right, sir. We enjoy it.
But that's why I've only called you guys once this year, okay? So I didn't want you guys...
Well, once a year is wonderful.
That's right. So that's why I've only been once. But that's why I called today on Let It Rip Friday, if you don't mind. But I want to stay on topic.
Yeah.
But before I get to what I wanted to say, just quickly on the Christmas gift thing.
Yeah.
You could do this one, Kimmer. Yeah. I know you couldn't do the fire one. I couldn't do that either. But take all the presents and you wrap them up and you wrap a duplicate exactly like the other ones. You put them under the tree and have mommy and daddy dancing, and whenever you stumble into the tree, you just crunch all the presents by accident and watch the kids' faces.
That's a funny idea. Yeah. That's a very clever idea. Or trip by putting a star on the tree or something and falling on the prey. Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a funny idea.
Here's what I called about, Kimmer. Yeah. You called earlier, you guys were talking about being sick.
Yeah.
And so it's a good thing you guys weren't on a boat or anything, because where would you go if you're on a boat and you get sick?
Well, I guess you'd go to the boat sick store. I'm not sure. Where would you go?
You'd go to the dock.
The dock, ladies and gentlemen. So on a boat, if you're sick, the dock is always there for you. See, if you go to a dock, then you get your xylophone. Then you can take your xylophone. Oh, sorry. Freaking xylophone. I mean, honestly, can you imagine being the xylophone guy?
I don't know if that's actually a xylophone. What's the marimba? I think is what that was.
This is a marimba, yes.
Marimba, because we went through this before a few years ago.
I don't know
that
the
song,
difference.
What's it? Some tonight?
I forget, but it was years ago, and the marimba solo is why you had me isolated.
And the reason I remember is because they mentioned Ole Miss in the song.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, that's
and I don't know the difference between a xylophone, maybe more keys or more dings, or what do they call them?
More dings. That's it. That's a scientific term for it. More dings.
Well, I used to be the first chair trombone in the all-state band.
I was first chair baritone.
Oh, no kidding.
That's right. First chair baritone.
A baritone is a singing voice, but a baritone is also...
It's like a mini tuba.
It's it's like a French horn between
it's bigger than a French horn.
A trumpet and a French horn and a tuba and a sousaphone. A sousaphone's the big one that goes around the guy. The big round one goes around. The tuba is a big round fat one that you hold in front of you, and the baritone is kind of like that. The baritone is a little bit smaller than a tuba, but it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
You hold it in front and blow the thing on the thing. Right. Well, go, there you are. I didn't know you had a musical background. We had to play instruments in my family.
We played piano. I played piano and baritone, and one of my New Year's resolution is every night, which I didn't do last night, is to pick up the damn guitar and get the pads thick again and play some more.
I wish I'd pulled. I started playing flamenco. I tried to learn how to do it, and I just quit. I couldn't, and my fingers didn't work, so I
have a hard time getting this left hand
get
to curve around it.
So the G and the thing.
But I love playing the slide and picking it, but I just for chords.
Yeah, that's right.
B.B. King never played chords.
No,
he hated it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's 4:46. Oh my God! Coming up, it's almost Divorce Day. In fact, it may be Divorce Day.
What is that?
Well, we're going to talk about that. Also, the predictor of COVID has a terrifying forecast for this year, although most of this sounds like a bunch of crap. Yeah. And also, a doctor reveals a secret to living longer, and we all could do it starting right now. And in fact, I used to be able to do this back when I was running 12 miles. When I was running 12 miles a day, I was in such great
breath shape that I could do this without a problem. I could probably still do it right now. We'll talk about it. Coming up, 447, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Here we go. You'll see.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
What I'm really looking forward to, though, Trump's promise that on day one, he's going to start deporting illegal aliens, called migrants. And I hope he starts with those that are hiding out in sanctuary cities. Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. If the cities won't get the work done, send federal marshals, maybe National Guard in there to get it done. And if the cities don't start cooperating, punish them. Very simple. Withhold the funds that they're demanding to take care of migrants while they obstruct all efforts to remove them and send them back from whence they came.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Yellow Jacket fans, don't miss your chance to lock in your seat for the 2025 football season today. Next year's home slate is highlighted by the renewal of our rivalry with Clemson, as well as ACC matchup versus Pitt, Syracuse, and Virginia Tech. Into the end zone! Touchdown! Haynes King! All hail the King! Support head coach Brent Key and the Jackets on game day by visiting RamblingWreck.com/tickets to get your season tickets today. Sting 'em.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. At A Second Chance Bail Bonds, we believe everyone deserves a second chance. We handle bonds from local to federal for any jail in any city. And in most cases, we can have you or your loved one out of jail in a matter of hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
There are crazies on the road. Who knows where they're all going, but if one of them hits you, don't take care of it on your own. Call my friend David Van Sant. He is the lawyer that used to work for the insurance company. The team at Van Sant Law knows who to call, what to say, and will make sure you get what you deserve and what the insurance company doesn't want to pay for. They have your best interest at heart and will take care of everything. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid. My advice, save Van Sant Law in your phone. Today, 855-GA-INJURY, vansantlaw.com. To me, the big story of this year was CBS, ABC, NBC, CNN hiding the sad decline of Joe Biden.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
How do you get so demented as a public official that you would allow your country to even talk about having the age of consent at 10 years old to have sex with a child?
You're afraid.
Jesus.
You have no morals.
What happened to Britain? It was a British, the kingdom of the world. I mean, my God, the British Empire.
They kicked God out of everything.
Jesus.
Everything over there.
450, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How you doing? We just got talking about a thing here. Welcome aboard, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3, 404-741-1230. This is Jimi Hendrix. We got a phone call coming up, and it's going to add another mark to the Kimmer bingo card. Thanks a lot. Jimi Hendrix live on the Lulu show in Britain on this day, 1969. The Jimi Hendrix Experience was booked to perform two songs, Voodoo Child, which was performed in full, and then Jimi Hendrix on this day in 1969 stopped performing his new single, Hey Joe, after one verse and chorus, and instead launched into a version of the Cream song, Sunshine of Your Love, as a tribute to the band who had split a few days earlier. Hendrix then proceeded to continue jamming, running over their allocated time live on the show, preventing the show's host, Lulu, from closing the show the way they were supposed to. But hell, Jimmy took over, and why not? It was Jimi Hendrix in 1969. So there you go. To the phone, so it's Bill Sheehan, one of the greatest Southern gentlemen I've ever known. The man I personally remember humiliating myself in front of, embarrassing myself, of being a total idiot when he was one of the nicest, most generous people you've ever known, of giving me tickets to go see the Masters. And instead, I brought my golf buddy Danny McLefty, and Bill left him there in the corner like I'm so embarrassed. Bill Sheehan on the phone. Hey, Bill, Happy New Year. How's it going?
Well. Happy New Year there, Kimmer. And Pete, you as well. Happy New Year.
He took Pete Davis to the Masters also. An incredible generosity on your part. Mr. Sheehan, you are a great American, sir.
Well, thank you very much. I just wanted to say something about your poetic reading of the night before Christmas last week.
They wanted to see if I wanted to play it again. I said, no, that's not going on again.
Well, I found it very touching and sympathetic and so sweet that you did that for your little girls when they were young.
Yeah.
The next time you do something like that, could you please have a professional do it?
Yeah. I should be staying away from a microphone when it comes to reading poetry. Well, Bill, are you having a happy Thanksgiving? Hope everything's working out for you and a great time. What I say, Thanksgiving, New Year. Oh my God, for 2025. Any big plans or anything excitement coming up your way?
No, not really. Not really. Just trying to stay healthy in this cold polar blast that we got coming in through here. So just trying to stay well and wishing Flounder best of luck with his upcoming wedding.
Pending nuptials. That's right. Very exciting in February. Yeah. He's got the greatest girl. This is going to be a great match made in heaven. I love this girl, Veronica. She's she's terrific in every way. Bill, thanks for calling, man. I really appreciate it. Have a great weekend and a great new year. And hope to, and I know you're going to be at the Masters again this year, and we'll be thinking of you, and maybe take a selfie and send it our way. We'll all enjoy it.
Well, thank you very much, Ken. Take care of yourself.
Thanks, Phil. Have a great time. This is Bill Sheehan, one of the great guys. Yeah.
Real quick, now we got Patricia on the line.
Patricia, hey, baby, how's it going? Welcome aboard. What's up?
Happy New Year to you, Kimmer.
Thanks, sweetie. It's Happy New Year to you, too. What's going on?
I just heard that Mearsham is going to sentence Trump on January 10th.
Yeah, January 10th, 10 days before. He wants to try to beat him, afraid that Trump's going to be have immunity when he gets sworn in, so he's trying to beat him to do anything he can to embarrass him again. Yeah, here we go.
I mean, when is this going to end?
Well, honestly, the Democrats, Patricia, I believe for the next 4 years, it's going to be just like it was before. The only difference is maybe they won't have that Jim Acosta on the press briefings trying to nail him every time on the stuff like that. But these Democrats are not going to stop. They're going to keep going every day just like they did before. This could be brutal.
I think so, too. I mean, when you think back that in 2016, we had the House, the Senate, and the White House, and the rhinos wouldn't pass any laws.
Yeah.
They only passed one law, and that was the income tax reform law. And Trump had to do everything by executive order that Biden could undo in a week, and I think the same thing's going to happen again, unfortunately.
Well, the only good news is they messed around with electing Johnson as the speaker, but they did do it on one day. Yep. That's a good sign. So maybe they're realizing you better fall in line. And honestly, Patricia, I think the two things are Donald Trump is saying you better get in line, or I'm putting Elon Musk on you. And if Elon Musk says I'm coming after you for your next primary, you know they're going to. I mean, he'll send $1 billion against every one of those rhinos. So I mean, he's got the money, and that would make a big difference. So anyway, well, maybe this will be different.
Musk is the Republican Soros.
Yeah. Hey, Patricia, you have a great day, sweetie. Have a great weekend, baby.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Patricia. Always great to talk to you, Patricia. 4:56, our 4 o'clock hour brought to you by our friends at Atlanta Safe House, home of the Kimmer. Safe, silly. You need a safe. Find out like I did when I went to Florida and didn't have one down there and lost my medical. You know the deal. They have a showroom in Ackworth. Love to see you guys take a little selfie. Check out the pistol safes. Everything's pretty much always on sale. On the web, atlantasafehouse.com. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. Okay, there's a relationship expert. She's a girl who's been doing this for years and years. Dr. Karen Phillip. The new year is the most difficult month in January. For couples, it's the busy festive period, the last straw for many relationships. People wait till January to avoid a messy breakup over Christmas.
December's a very high stress month, and Divorce Day is coming in January. We've tolerated our partner, their behavior, family, friends. Once the end of the year is upon us, we reassess what the year's been like and make a conscious decision to start the new year fresh. This woman wrote a thing called, "Oh my God, we're getting married, 7 essential things to know before we say I do." Around your family and friends support systems over Christmas gives you extra strength to say, I just can't take this anymore. Divorce financial analyst Michelle Smith in New York says she sees an increase in marriage breakdowns this time of year. Divorce attorneys get swamped with calls. The New Year's resolutions list are, what can I do for my life this year? I don't want to be unhappy anymore. They hang on for Christmas and then for the sake of the children and family, but after that, things unravel. And January is when divorce procedures start by the bundle.
You get through the holidays. Yeah. You don't want to do it before the holidays. I did it once before the holidays.
Well, I mean...
It's not good because it makes everything weird.
And again, with your family and friends, kind of saying, well, we'll start, it's a time to, it's, here we go.
I had enough of your...
Yeah, I know. By the way, how to live longer, and it's we could all do it starting right this minute. But first, Flounder, I got another Flounder's Funnies, I think, for our Nutty Sogies.
It's 2001. Obviously, 9/11 happens. If you're old enough, you remember when 9/11 happened, the whole country got very scared that there's going to be more attacks. Well, we did as well in Wilson County. We figured... They just went to New York. Obvious next stop, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And they are going to poison our town's water. So they got all of us water meter readers to guard the water tanks. I really did this. I stood just in a dark field alone, waiting for the Taliban to show up. No weapons, no training.
And that's our friend
Mr. Nate Bargatze.
Nate Bargatze. And again, I started watching a few more minutes. I watched a little bit of time of his Christmas special from Nashville. And I don't know why I didn't. I had no idea that a comedian like this guy would have a Christmas special. It was pretty funny. Well done.
On Netflix, he has his specials.
Yeah. Well, now see, I wouldn't know. I'm going to have to. In fact, on the bottom of my TV, I got a smart TV because mine died and I had to get a new one. So I got, obviously, the new ones are all smart ones. And on the bottom of my TV, it has Netflix and like Vuvu or Zubu or Don Bomb. And then what? Does it automatically, do I have to fill out a bunch of stuff?
You put a little credit card, so they'll charge you $20 a month, and then it's yours.
Well, one of these days.
By the way, if you want to watch some playoff games coming up, Amazon.
Well, I can get that too on there. I'll bet you probably too, huh? And how much is that?
How much is Amazon?
I pay $311 for
here's
Comcast.
The thing. If you get Amazon Prime, which is a great deal, which is free shipping and handling for everything you order and send places, and you also get deals all the time. You also get the Prime TV network.
Oh, my God. Oh, it's 5 o'clock. Holy cow. I guess I got to get with a freaking program.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Lee Branch Jewelry and Watches.
The president-elect to be sentenced. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. New York Judge Juan Merchan will sentence President-elect Trump on his business records convictions 1 week from today, saying he's found no legal impediment to sentencing the president-elect, and it was incumbent on him to impose sentence prior to the inauguration. The judge also said he'd impose a conditional discharge, meaning no prison time unless the defendant reoffends. The Trump team says this is a direct violation of the Supreme Court's immunity decision, and the Constitution demands that it be immediately dismissed. The statement continues, President Trump will continue fighting against these hoaxes until they are all dead. It was very close, but Congressman Mike Johnson has been reelected as Speaker of the House.
Our people are asking for a thriving economy and a rebuilt middle class and strong borders and a strong military, and we can deliver that. See, these objectives and these aims don't have an R or a D behind them. They have a USA. That's what we're about.
He promised to aggressively streamline the federal workforce. President Biden has blocked the merger of U.S. Steel with Japan's Nippon Steel, saying in a statement it would be a risk to national security and the U.S. supply chain.
President Biden says it is important we maintain strong American steel companies powered by American steel workers. Nippon Steel had promised to keep the name U.S. Steel and maintain a headquarters in Pittsburgh. President-elect Trump also said he would block the sale.
U.S. Steel has warned of possible plant closings should the merger not go through. The U.S. Army soldier who detonated explosives in a Cybertruck outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. The FBI revealing that Matthew Rivelsberger left a note behind saying this was not a terrorist attack, but a wake-up call for the country's ills. Wall Street up sharply higher Friday. The Dow up 340 points. NASDAQ gained 341. America is listening to Fox News.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-893-2288. 800-893-2288. 800-893-2288.
Out in the field.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of flank. Ready on your dog target. First squad to the rear. Road guards out. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Giver with Pete Davis and Flounder and you at 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Man, we got all the news. And again, they just did an update on the guy in Vegas we've been talking about. The guy who's had divorces, problems, he fought with his wife. 6 days later, he killed all these people, called his girlfriend, was talking about stuff. And just now, this is still breaking news, apparently. The FBI now says, I guess it was the FBI, has released the information that he left behind a note. And his note, there's a Vegas guy, the Cybertruck guy. He left behind a note, and the note said, it was not a terrorist attack. I did this because I want to bring attention to mental health issues, and that he apparently was suffering from PTSD. Well, okay. All right, fine. Anyway, we'll talk about that before.
So who released it? The FBI?
I think the FBI.
Totally trustworthy.
Yeah, so I'm sure they... Sure. And again, Christopher Ace down there in Costa Rica someplace at some private, secret, hidden pad shredding documents.
I hate to do that, but they've lied to us so many times. I don't believe anything they tell me now.
I don't trust anybody. The headquarter people of the FBI are
when
not...
Cash Patel is in charge, I'll start believing them again.
We have a phone call to our founder, do we? 404-741-1230. Pete, I believe it's on the horn. Pete, welcome aboard, man. What's going on? The other Pete, not you.
Hey, how you doing, Kim?
Yes, sir.
Have a great 2025. Like your show.
Thank you, sir.
I have an answer and a solution to your 2-term limits.
Oh, really? Yes, sir.
Here's my idea.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. All we need to do is put a message out there.
Yeah.
2-term, get rid of the germ, because Washington is not going to fix it. We have to fix it. So if we put a message out, don't vote these guys in. They don't have to do anything. They're never going to do the 2-term limit stuff.
Yeah.
So, you get somebody like you and like Tucker to put it out there. Guy did 2-term. Eliminate the germ.
Eliminate the germ. I like it. All right, Pete. Thanks, man. Another great idea. 506, not the other Pete. 506, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. The term limit just seems so obvious. You can't. That woman was it Texas? She's still in the mental ward. The psychotherapy, a senility ward in some hospital in Houston.
It's a retirement home for them.
It's unfreaking believable. Dianne Feinfinkel-Cheatstein. Yeah. She was worthless at the last part of her
Biden entered public service at 29 and has never left.
That's right. He's never had a job.
Until he was so senile, his own party forced him out.
Yeah. Again, the only time in American history where the party that won forced out their candidate in a coup after performing a coup against his opponent. I mean, historians, man.
They'll look back at this 5-year period.
Has this ever...
of what has gone on underhanded. If they can expose this in the next year.
Since Trump came down that escalator to announce his candidacy, that from that moment on, and again, it's going to be another 4 years. They're still trying to do it. They're still trying to throw monkey wrenches into everything he does. So we'll see. Anyway, a quick thing before we go back to more of the politics. I teased this earlier, and this is as kind of, they say it's a true thing, and I'll try to explain why here. A naturopathy doctor. It's naturopathy, not. I thought it was neuropathy, but it's not. It's a naturopathy. That's what she's calling herself. It's a naturopathy. A naturopathy doctor has issued a bizarre, revealing a secret that she says will help you live longer, and they say it's true. Her name is Dr. Janine Bowring, Canada, 25 years experience, clinical research under her belt.
Canada.
And she says the average adult... Well, let me just ask you, Flounder, let me just ask you, just out of curiosity.
He's average?
No, he's way above average, but look, especially in Lake Winnemanova or whatever it is.
What's the question?
The question is, how many breaths do you take in a minute, an average minute? Have you ever looked at it or timed yourself?
I mean, I'd say I take a breath every 2 to 3 seconds.
Okay, so probably 25, 30 breaths a minute. Pete Davis, I assume that's probably
4,397.
Oh, now stop! And 1 minute.
I have no idea.
Every couple of the average. Well, she says the average person.
I breathe lower than most people.
Well, the average person, the average adult, takes 15 to 20 breaths a minute, and she says that's way too much. If you slow your breathing down to 5.5 breaths a minute, you'll live longer.
Why?
5 breaths a minute. I used to do this when I was running 12 miles a day and running marathons and stuff for years in the 80s, and I realized that I could lower my breathing rate to about 4 or 5 breaths a minute with no problem. Never affected my pulse or anything else. It was really bizarre. But she says slow it down to 5 breaths a minute. Comparing human beings to other animals like dolphins and whales who take fewer breaths and live longer, these mammals take 3 breaths a minute. A mouse takes 250 breaths a minute. That's why they live 2 to 7 years. Stress is, when we're stressed out, we breathe more quickly. Stress is correlated with a shorter life. My tip here is consciously breathe, slowing down your breath rate. One of the reasons why meditation and yoga can be really powerful in helping to live longer is the breathing. They performed research on mice at Massachusetts General. Those in areas with lower oxygen levels lived longer because less oxygen reduces cell damage and stimulates your own cells to clear out recycled bad components more efficiently. So you slow down the aging process. They haven't done the same studies in humans, so we don't know whether if they lowered the rate of oxygen that you would actually breathe less and be better for it.
This sounds like the Japanese doctor a few years ago. And bear with me, this kind of makes sense. He says the heart only has so many beats in it.
Well, that's true. It does.
So all these people
muscle.
running around exercising and running and doing and making the heart beat faster, he said, you're idiots.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter what you do. It's only got so many beats.
Well, at some point, I totally believe that, except at some point, if you know how to, if you do it, you can build up the muscle in your heart to make it better and therefore live longer until you get to a point where all of a sudden you're making it worse. I think there's a bridge. You know, I made my heart got so, I used to run so much, and when I had my heart attack, the guy said, you probably are alive today because you know your heart was in such great shape from all those years of running. And I believe that's true. However, at some point it's going to be detrimental. And I think I totally agree with that. But if you can build up your muscles, then at some point you've gotten to the point, well, now I got nothing left, so I couldn't start building a muscle now. That'd kill me.
You have to do a lot more protein.
Yeah, that's true, too.
And testosterone.
Yeah, and I can't. I think that would be a danger for a guy like me. It'd kill me.
Neither of us can really do that testosterone thing.
Yeah, it would kill me. Yeah, that's why we don't have any hair. We have too much testosterone
I
already.
lost my hair when I had testosterone.
511. Okay, a quick news. Flounder, let's do Vice President Carmela's side piece again. The Speaker of the House, Johnson, was reelected, and it took a long day, but they did it, which is a good sign instead of driving out for 15 votes. And in Congress today, the members who were sworn in Senate and House were sworn in. As part of her duties as Vice President's side piece, the shiftless and lazy Capitol Hill, she is the President of the Senate. And whenever there's a tie vote in the Senate, Carmela's side piece was the one who would vote in favor of her side, which is what she did to have higher taxes, stuff like that. Well, her duties also include swearing in the new members of the Senate. And so she did that, and she forgot how to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Flounder, if you will, sir.
Join me in pledging allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America.
Okay. All right. Flounder.
Join me in pledging allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America.
She said United States twice. I mean, I pledge allegiance to the United States. And then she mumbled and she realized, oh, God, I'm doing it again.
You realize at that time she probably go, no one caught that. And she doesn't get off the floor of the Senate.
Yeah, and off we go, man. I mean,
you're viral.
Social media. Here we go. I mean, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh, idiot.
Good Lord.
We were this close. That idiot.
Lordy. And speaking of the Pledge of Allegiance, ESPN's getting black. We got Holy Crap at Sports coming up here shortly. In fact, we'll leave a lot of this for about the game and what happened at the game and ESPN and so forth. That's all coming up. Sugar Bowl, if you haven't heard the comments of the sponsor, which was Allstate, their CEO, Tom Wilson.
He's killed his company.
It's over. I mean, I'll bet you Monday we're going to have stories about what happened this weekend of cancellations of Allstate insurance policies.
It's not like there aren't other insurance companies. Please,
they're
all
easy
the
to come up with one. And when you call and say, hey, can you give me a better deal than Allstate, they're going to say, sure.
Yeah. There's apps that will tell you that you can get better.
Yeah. Anyway, well, it's all coming up. Holy Crap at Sports, then. We got a lot to talk about on this. So Pete Davis, the Cybertruck bomber and the new things, and the Judge and Mershon and Don Trump. Coming up, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 513. Look out, baby. Here we go. Look out, it's a Kimber. We've got your afternoons covered, all right, and the Morning Extra's got your drive-in from 6 to 10 a.m., too.
If I just consider the fact that I use the restroom maybe 3 or 4 times a day for a span of like 90 seconds at a time, the rest of my day I go about doing what I'm doing, that's a minuscule amount of time.
Sure.
The fact that I try and have this movement that defines yourself by what restroom you go into, that's not me, that's on you.
Of course.
And so, yes, you are a dude and you're dressed as a woman. And just because for just that 90 seconds at a time, you still have to be a dude, all right? Like,
biology says so.
Then the rest of the time, you get to be a woman all day long, and we all say like, wow, she's really nice. Okay, then that's fine. But for that 90 seconds at a time, out of your hours and hours and hours, you actually have to adhere to who you are. When it comes to doing this, use a dude.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on XTRA 106.3 FM and the XTRA app.
Shooting drills. A coach who knows the game can teach their team how to improve. But one who genuinely cares about each player.
You have what it takes. We got this.
Can inspire them to win. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
For half a century, glyphosate has affordably and effectively protected Georgia farmers' crops from invasive weeds. Without it, the impact would be felt beyond the fields, hitting Americans where it hurts, our wallets. That's why the Modern Ag Alliance advocates for farmers continued access to essential crop protection tools so food prices don't rise even more. Get the facts at controlweedsnotfarming.com. Paid for by the Modern Ag Alliance in support of Georgia farmers.
Think about what Elon Musk did at Twitter. X, as it's called now, operates just the same way as it did when they had so many more people replicating jobs, doing absolutely nothing, taking naps, working from home.
Going down for yoga and wheatgrass shakes.
I can't wait till the federal government is put at the same standards. Vivek Ramaswamy has run companies too. It's not like he is some schmuck that don't know what he's doing. Those two together are going to be a damn wrecking crew.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on XTRA 106.3 FM and the XTRA app.
Yeah, look out. Here we go. It's 5:17 with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Coming up, more live entertainment to spark up your lives. Also, the latest on politics. And brought to you by RBM of Atlanta. It's time for Holy Crap at Sports with Pete Davis.
All right, Georgia's season came to the disappointing end last night. They fell to a well-coached Notre Dame team, 23-10 in the Sugar Bowl. The game was close. The Bulldogs had a 3-0 lead until late in the first half when the Fighting Irish erupted for 13 quick points. Never looked back. The Dogs did win an SEC championship this year, which is no small feat considering the talent level wasn't exactly what we expect in Athens. Yeah. And they were playing a young quarterback getting his first start against a really good team.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not sold that Gunnar Stockton will be the starter next year, but he played well under the circumstances and will get a shot in spring practice. UGA is known for recruiting 5-star quarterbacks, but not having a backup ready to go kind of bit them last night.
I don't get it.
But since they didn't really blow a lot of teams out this season, not a whole lot of time to get reps in behind Carson Beck. So an SEC title, making the playoffs, nothing to sneeze at. So a successful
They had a great year. They had a great year.
And, of course, the caterwauling about firing offensive coordinator Mike Bobo is in full throat on social media.
Geez, man, do they go after him?
Yep, always go after him. The use of several key transfer portal players by Notre Dame shows just how important that's become in college football now.
Yep,
Some of their best players, I'm telling you. Yep. Someone said this is the first time Georgia has lost a bowl game by more than 7 points since the 1977 Sugar Bowl against Pitt.
Wow.
That's
really?
a long time, if that's true.
In fact, Notre Dame got 13 points in like 50 seconds.
And then they ran,
geez.
They ran the opening kickoff in the second half back. It was like, bam.
Without that, less than 1 minute was the ball game.
It was. It changed everything. You got to feel sorry for UGA player Parker Jones.
I know. Those bastards on TV really nailed him.
Despite not being dressed for the game, he still managed to get an important penalty called against him and his team by inadvertently running into the referee on the sidelines during a key play. You have to stay out of the white. Yeah. You all right? Yeah. It's safety.
It is safety.
It's going to be a very long and dark doghouse winter that Parker will be in, and the internet is forever, unfortunately. God. Pardon My Take tweeted, Parker Jones is going to be an awesome pharmaceutical rep. Crazy former NFL receiver Antonio Brown used a racial slur to describe Notre Dame junior cornerback Charles Du, D-U, in a post on Twitter. He used a derogatory term for Chinese people, a word that rhymes with stink.
Oh, boy.
All right. The Irish put Du's name on the back of his jersey, but in order to sell more Notre Dame jerseys in China, they wrote it in Chinese, not English. Last time I checked, the game was played in America. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Have you ever seen that anywhere with any? And there have been a lot of Italian guys. There's a lot of things you could have. Guys from
Italian names transfer in English.
But still, it's just.
I'll tell you, if this becomes a thing, though, it becomes quite confusing. Think about it. What if a player is deaf? Will they just leave the back of his jersey blank?
Yeah, there you go. Well, if he's blind, you would.
That too. That's cruel. I should have said that.
Cruel.
So it's the Longhorns against Ohio State and Penn State against the Irish. Who you got?
Neither one. I don't know.
I have to pull for Texas because I cannot pull for Big Ten teams, especially Penn State. I hate State.
Texas isn't going to beat Ohio State.
Probably.
I can't.
Now they can.
Well, if they put Arch Manning in like every third play or something and do a whole thing with
second quarter.
Well, yeah, but still, if they do a whole new concept, because they're going to know Ohio State is ready to kick ass. They look great.
We'll see. They've had 2 good games in a row.
Put Arch Manning in there.
All right. Despite being banned from Mercedes-Benz Stadium twice, Bevo the Longhorn will be allowed in Arlington for the big game against the Buckeyes.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Good for him. Okay. By now, you've heard how before the Sugar Bowl, the Allstate Insurance insurance CEO insulted every American by blaming us and lecturing us for the terrorist attack in New Orleans, saying our addiction to divisiveness is the problem, not the crazy religious nut who can't keep a woman satisfied. I'll never use Allstate.
Boy.
Ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, the ESPN made an executive decision not to use the national anthem or moment of silence or Americans shouting USA, USA before the game.
The SEC network showed it all, and it was touching and important. I mean, and by the way, we talked about this earlier. How is it possible that ESPN, which controlled the program, they have a producer who put every second by second, believe me, in broadcast network television, they don't be fooling around about what we might do later. It's all lecked in. They should have made sure that was the most important part
know who
of
decided.
the pre-game show. The most important part after what happened, a block down the road, or basically, oh my God.
I want to know who made that decision and why. I want to know.
Yeah. And they aren't talking about it. They're saying, well, we were in a commercial break. We did. Then you shouldn't have been in a commercial break, and you shouldn't have been doing the interview with Tim Tebow. He could have cut it off and said, we got to go now and do this opening. I mean, there's no excuse for it. None whatsoever.
Found it interesting that the ESPN play-by-play man Joe Tessitore earlier this week kept calling it a terrorist attack, which is what it was.
Yeah.
But Sean McDonough, at least once last night when I tuned in, called it a mass murder. I don't know if he called it a terrorist attack later on or before that, but he called it a mass murder when I tuned in.
Which is true, but it's not. It was so much more than anyway,
right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, MSN and USA Today, the liberal idiots who know about as much about sports as I do about the WNBA, have issued the edict that the SEC is dead.
Wait a minute, what? Who says this?
MSN and USA Today. If it's that Dan Wolken of USA Today, he is the biggest idiot in sports.
What evidence do they have?
After a one down year, Kimber, that's all they've been waiting for years for this.
Because Alabama lost 3 or 4 games. I mean, that's the reason.
By the way, one SEC team, Texas, is still alive.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
they may not, like it. We may not like it, but they're still in the SEC. Yeah. Last time I checked. Brandon Walker tweets, "It's interesting. The SEC dominance and Bama's fall and Georgia coming back to normal is all happening as soon as every team could start legally paying players."
Yeah. Well,
things that make you go,
Yeah, golly, I wonder what.
And by the way, I know another SEC team that isn't dead.
Who's that?
At least last night.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss,
Oh boy.
That'd be the Rebels.
Man, pretty exciting, I'll tell you. They would have
been a lot more fun to watch than SMU.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
I told you they were better than Alabama. I told everybody, they're better than Alabama this year. They're better than South Carolina. If any of those three teams needed to be in, it was the Rebels.
Yeah, they can score.
They can score, and they're interesting to watch. But they spanked Duke of the ACC last night in the Gator Bowl 52-20.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't even that close. Amazingly, the Rebels and Blue Devils had never met before on the gridiron.
Really?
That blew my mind. Because it's not that far apart. The two schools have played football a combined 269 years, never played each other before last night. And after that butt whipping, I bet it's another 269 years before Duke agrees to do it again.
Yeah, wow.
Quarterback Jackson Dart really helped out his NFL draft stock. He accounted for 447 yards, moved him to 4th place all time in Southeastern Conference history for offense.
Really?
He moved ahead of Dak Prescott. He's right up there with the button. Top 4. 2 bowl games today at the First Responders Bowl held in
Alabama.
Dallas,
Texas.
Dallas. North Texas plays Texas State right now. We got the Mean Green beating the Bobcats 14-9 in the second quarter. I'm sure you've devoed that.
Well, I got Devo over there. Was waiting for me to show up. I was late.
What's a Devo?
A Devo is a girl who thinks she's very special.
Or a band from the 70s. That was really cool.
Band, the Devo, yeah.
Tonight, the Duke's Mayo Bowl in
Indianapolis.
Now think about this. Yeah. Where's Duke's Mayo?
Mayo Bay in the Mayo Bowl. Well, it's in.
Where do they make Duke's Mayo?
I don't know.
It's a Southern thing.
Well, and at the Duke University people made the
very
Duke's,
close. That's right.
Yeah, Chapel Hill,
North Carolina.
In
Charlotte.
It's Charlotte, North Carolina.
That's right.
That's what I was saying.
All right, very good. You put that together. It's Minnesota against Virginia Tech.
Oh boy.
What is Minnesota known for? What is their name?
Gophers. The Minnesota Gophers.
Golden
Gophers.
That's right. Virginia Tech?
The Engineers. The Virginia Dancing Engineers.
Everyone at Georgia Tech just laughed. calling Virginia Tech.
Well, they're not really
school.
engineers, you know. The heck of the pseudo engineer. I don't know.
They're part of a chicken. They're like a chicken rooster type thing.
Oh my! The screaming hens. The
Hokies.
The Hokies. Oh, the Hokes.
Okay, that's later tonight. Winner gets a lifetime supply of mayonnaise.
There.
Loser gets drowned in a vat of mayonnaise.
Oh my God!
Just like the Pop-Tart bowl, someone or something has to die.
Oh my God! Into the toaster.
Alabama has fired co-defensive coordinator Colin Hitchler. I changed that name.
Yeah, I would.
Hitschler.
Either way, you're going to say a bad word. Either way, you're going to say the first part of it is Hitler, the second part of it is Schlitzler, or sort of. It's a bad day.
I changed that name. That's just me.
Imagine being called on the first day of school, Mr. What's that now?
Mr. Hilter. The Hawks visit the Lakers tonight. Hawks in 7th place in the East, LA 6th place in the West. And today in sports history, which is January 3rd, 1973.
All right, I got some of these.
George Steinbrenner
I got this.
Bought the Yankees from CBS for $10 million American dollars. But did you know?
Yes.
Showing just how the Yankees had fallen in the 10 years between 1964 and 73.
When he bought it, yeah.
CBS lost money on the deal. Steinbrenner bought it at a low cost. He had bought the team back in 64, CBS had.
Yeah.
But since 64 was the last year of the Yankees dynasty that went back to about 1920 when they bought Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
They had
greatest team in the history of baseball.
44 years dominance, and it disappeared between 64 and 65. All the years CBS had it, they were in the tank. In fact, when I was a kid paying attention to baseball, the Yankees were a joke.
Well, they
were a joke. Because I started paying attention in 67, 68, and they sucked. Mantle retired, Ford retired, they all quit. And it wasn't until 75 when they made the playoffs, I think, that everyone started thinking, well, maybe the Yankees are back.
Yeah,
so
I remember.
My childhood, they sucked.
I remember those days. Absolutely. I remember those days.
That's just my opinion.
And by the way, Steinbrenner was part of a 12-man syndicate. That they gave him the
it's all run by a big Eastern syndicate, you know.
Well, there you are. 1920 this day, speaking of the Yankees, the Red Sox and the Yankees would never forget it. The Bronx Bombers bought the contract for Babe Ruth from Boston for $125,000.
What year was that?
1920.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And in 1983, it was the longest run from scrimmage in the history of the NFL. Tony Dorsett got the ball on the 1-yard line and ran it all the way back against the Vikings.
Monday Night Football, wasn't it?
99 yards, yeah.
I remember that.
And by the way, Pete, speaking of NIL, I saw this earlier and clipped it out. Louisville punter Brady Hodges stayed out of the Sun Bowl when they lost to Washington because he says the Louisville Cardinals collective of NIL did not pay him the money they promised him the month before. He posted on social media he hadn't been with the team since December 10th. He didn't say how much he was owed, but the president of the Louisville Collective is not talking about it. But he says he didn't give me my money, so I'm not playing.
But
here we go.
Don't you show up for your teammates?
Yeah, I mean, that's the
and drag them through the mud.
All of a sudden, it's a whole new thing. And again, the players
have
are not
shown up.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, you shouldn't even have the choice. This shouldn't even be a thing you have to worry about as a college athlete.
I think what these athletes have got to do is you have to have the money up front. None of this, you'll get it later.
Right.
Pay me now or I don't come. But you cannot not show up for the bowl game.
For the bowl game.
Come on, man.
It's not like he's, whether he's going to go to the pros as the number one pick or not, it's a little dubious.
You can sue him afterwards, but show up for your teammates.
It's wrong. It's wrong in every way. I've got 5:30 almost here with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. So much more. I'm going to do maybe some more tweets, and we got Flounder's funnies, and more on the newsy stuff. And oh God, here we go. Kimmer, Pete, Flounder. Look out. The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's the Kimmer. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Well, here we are, a new year. Question today, what was the big story of 2024? At my age, surviving it. But I mean for the whole country. A lot of people might say it's the election. Donald Trump being reelected. Big story, to be sure. But it was going to happen one way or the other. Happens every 4 years. To me, the big story of this year was CBS, ABC, NBC, CNN, all of the alphabet networks, the Washington Times, the Washington Post, New York, the major newspapers, everybody out there hiding the sad decline of Joe Biden, the President of the United States.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on XTRA 106.3 or listen anytime on the XTRA 106.3 app.
Hey, I got an idea. Maybe a New Year's resolution to take care of your stuff. No, I'm talking about safety and security. Your stuff. Learning from the Kimmer. Atlanta Safe House is waiting for you. Jeff and Mark, the whole. You'll love this company. By the way, they have a showroom in Ackworth up there on Industrial Boulevard. Check out what they have for the new year. Pretty much everything's always on sale. And rebates like with Brownings, these top brands, Brownings. And don't forget, there's always special deals, whether it's big gun safes. And the big gun safes, they can design them inside any way you want. It's not just big empty space in a big metal case, Anyway, check them out on the web, too. I'll give you that address. And up on Industrial Boulevard, stop in and say howdy. Those pistol safes, man, those things are beautiful. Now, for the record, they have the best delivery system and team, period, because they use off-duty police, firefighters, and military folks, people you can trust in your home and your office. And with me, when I was up before I went to Florida, didn't have my safe down there, lost my medical records. You know the whole story. Keep your medical records and your living will and all that stuff and your real estate things, marriage and divorce papers, jewelry, cash, stuff like that. And they can, big safes, little safes, they can bolt them from the inside into a concrete basement floor, whatever you're looking for. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you. These are folks who take care of your stuff and your rights and your precious valuables. Check them out, atlantasafehouse.com.
It's here. It's called winter. Is your furnace ready to make sure you're warm inside and you keep the cold weather outside? Well, if you're not sure, you need to talk to the folks at Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Central Heating and Air is one of the few second-generation locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and it's still that way today. Give Central a call at 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com. Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house and possibly your family with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speed, fresh air ventilation, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Carrier products, carrier warranty, carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert since 1947. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com. That's 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
You know the old expression, I love it when a plan comes together? Well, with our First Liberty Notes, this has been so true. Hello, I'm Brant Frost, founder of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about our family's company all the time right here on the station. For over 30 years, we've been the local lender who said yes when the big banks say no. A couple of months ago, we opened up our First Liberty Notes program to Main Street investors just like you, and the response has been just incredible. Folks from airline pilots to physicians to even pastors are now earning 8 to 13% interest rates while helping to fuel the growth of local small businesses. If you're a qualified investor with a minimum of $25,000, you too could be earning 8 to 13% interest. We'd love to have you join our First Liberty family today. Go to firstlibertyga.com and see if our First Liberty Notes are right for you. Go to firstlibertyga.com. That's firstlibertyga.com.
First Liberty Notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. SEC accredited investor status must be verified. Securities not offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Atlanta Braves single game tickets for the 2025 season are now on sale. Get your tickets for some exciting matchups next season, like when the Phillies come to Truist Park during the opening homestand in April, followed by the Dodgers and Padres in May, the New York Yankees in July, and many more.
Diving catch by Michael Harris.
Plus, select ticket packages are also available. Visit Braves.com/tickets to see all of the fun for next season and secure your tickets. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Oh, my God. This is Kimmer Pete Flounder. We're watching. There's a Medal of Honor awards ceremony going on right now in Washington. And President Stupidface, the criminal child molester, has done it again. By the way, he looks like he doesn't know where he is, what he's doing. He can barely stand still. And he's given the Medal of Honor, and the guy's wife was there. And President Slimebag actually leaned into her and sniffed her hair. The Medal of Honor recipient's wife was there, and Biden leaned into her and sniffed her hair. And now he looks like he can't say. Look, he's kind of leaning back and forth like he doesn't, like he's on a string. Oh, my God. He looks like he's lost weight. Oh, God. What a freaking disgrace, the whole place. All right, hold on. Here we go. Kimmer Peen Flounder. 1967, Carl Wilson received a U.S. Army draft notice on this day in 1967. Carl Wilson of the Beach Boys refused to be sworn in. He said he was a conscientious objector and would not serve in the military. And I don't think anything ever happened to him. Who? Carl Wilson, Beach Boys. And again, you could, I had a friend in prep school who was a conscientious objector, but he was, I mean, I believed it to be true because that's the kind of person he was, and he was not going to serve in the military. In fact, I saw him, this night, we graduated in 1964. I think I saw him about 10 years later with his girlfriend buying an antique from my mother's antique shop. She had a little hobby.
I don't think anyone should go in the military if they really don't want to go because you don't want those people in there. No. But they should have to do some kind of public service.
I've always thought that. If there was a draft, a public service of doing something, helping something, maybe even a chance to get rewarded for it. If you do something to help the community, then they give you a break on your loans for teachers, college. I don't know. I mean,
lifeguard, something.
Something, yeah. Helping your community, doing something in your community. Public service to your community.
Right.
Something to show that you're a giver. Yeah, I totally agree. And it'll never happen, of course. A quick leftover birthday list here, Pete Davis. Eli Manning, 44 today.
Wow.
And Bobby Hull, hockey star, 86.
And he was the kid.
Yeah,
he was the son
of
the Golden Jet.
That's hard.
I think. Or is he the...
No, he's got to be the dad. Bobby Hull, the dad.
I thought Bobby Hull was dead.
No. Well... He was on my birthday list. Again, Flounder's list is not available till Monday. And we'll get also a little entertainment coming up for you to brighten up your miserable little lives.
He's dead.
He's dead, yeah.
He's dead 2 years ago.
2 years ago, he's dead. Yeah, fine. Well, anyway, it's a sports birthday, so I thought I'd mention it. And now something you really enjoy. On this day in 1496, references in Leonardo da Vinci's notebooks suggest he tested his flying machine. Da Vinci had 200 drawings and sketches illustrating his theories on flight. His ornithopter flying machine was an aircraft that would fly by flapping its wings, a design he created to show how humans could fly. It had a sophisticated flight control system, but it was never actually put together. It worked with an aerial screw concept. There was Da Vinci's flying machine, a 4-man team to stand on a base and employ a pumping action to spin the rotary blade in order to lift the thing off the ground. He also invented, it never really quite worked, but as an engineer, Leonardo da Vinci had ideas way ahead of his time. He conceptually invented the parachute. Leonardo conceptually invented the helicopter. He invented an armored fighting vehicle, the use of concentrated solar power, a car, a gun, and a theory of plate tectonics and the double hull of boats. Leonardo da Vinci.
I saw
his drawings and sketches.
I saw some yesterday, a drawing he did, and it's a white blank piece of paper, and up in the corner looked like a red photograph of a bunch of trees. And I looked at it again, and it said, no, that was a drawing. It looked like a photograph.
Really?
It was so real.
Well, I mean, what a special human being.
He was maybe
not
an
only
alien.
mentally, but I mean, my God,
or mutant or something.
I mean, just the skill of the artistic quality, but also usually don't always go together. I don't know. But this was very unusual.
Because usually a right brain thinker is different than a left brain.
Right,
he had both.
Yeah. Very unusual. Anyway, 404-741-1230. By the way, our 5 o'clock hour brought to you by Lee Brandt Jewelers, where luxury jewelry and watches are affordable. Drop by their store in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com. And now, Flounder, if you're ready, sir, something we know you're really going to enjoy.
There it is.
Whoops. No.
This is rehearsal.
No, keep my gun. And now, another edition of Not the Kimmers Rainy Day Bad Text Theater Playhouse, where we endeavor to bring just the tiniest bit of
a ray of sunshine and joy into the otherwise miserable lives of you, the little people. Our scene today, a typical American den in a typical American household. A man sits quietly on the couch, minding his own business, when suddenly his wife storms into the room and accusingly throws a question his way.
Who the hell is Ginny?
The surprised innocent man replies,
What? What are you talking about?
I found a note in your pocket with the name Ginny on it. Who is this hussy?
I was at the track yesterday. Ginny is the name of the horse I bet on. Yeesh.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Never mind.
And the very next day, the man is sitting quietly on his sofa when a shoe flies across the room, striking him in the head.
Ouch. What was that for?
Your horse is on the phone.
And scene. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Giddy up go, little darling. Giddy up go. Another edition.
Is John there?
Not the Kimmers Rainy Day Theater Bad Text Playhouse. And bringing a bit of joy, thanks to author, raconteur, to Pete Davis, to joy of happiness into the miserable lives of you, the little people. Rainy Day Theater Playhouse. Yes,
you don't get this anywhere.
540.
No.
You just don't have this available to you, really.
Just realized Johnny Cash sounds like a horse talking.
Well, Wilbur. He does. He does. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get ripped for this. I know. Bella's hair. Okay.
Oh, right. No.
Well, no, it's the thing. Okay. This morning, by the way, Bella's going to be a star. Bella works with Amanda. They're social media people, and so they're okay. So now on a Friday morning, and I don't know whether it's on Friday mornings, but occasionally now, the morning crew, the boys from Morning Bastards, will have Bella come on as part of a young person, what's going on in the world reaction social media segment, which is really good. She's going to be a star. She's a great talent. She's really different. I love her voice. Her voice is very unusual for radio voice. But I like it. It's very enchanting. She has a great style of speaking. I would say that.
Put your finger on the dump button.
No, this is true. So now the other day, yesterday, I came into work. I'm saying hi to the people, and I'm going down, and I came by where Amanda and Bella are sitting, and they're talking together at their desk next to each other, and I'm walking by, and I say, hey, girls, how you going? And oh, my God. And Bella turned around, and Bella has changed her hair. Now, again, I used to joke about her that she puts her hair in a different style about every 20 minutes. You'll see her in a bun and then long and big. She changes it every day just for fun. Anyway, so yesterday, I came in, and I almost didn't recognize her because her hair had a lighter tinge to it, and she had the braids going across her forehead like Cersei, the queen from Game of Thrones. So I said to her, oh my God, Bella, you're so beautiful. I love what you've done. Your hair is so beautiful. You look like a princess from Game of Thrones. I said, and she'd say, oh, yeah, and she started fooling on me. And I said, it was really just remarkably beautiful. And I said so to her. It wasn't in a creepy way. I just said, yeah, I love, and I said to Amanda, I said, my God, don't you love me? And she said, oh, yeah, we all talked about how beautiful she looked. And it was really different and unusual, and it was really striking. And that was it. End of story. I go into my room, boom. Okay. This morning, Bella's coming on the radio, and so I thought I'd do a little thing. I texted the Morning Virgin, who does the board op morning, the Morning Virgin, Joe, the Morning Virgin, and I said, by the way, I told Bella yesterday that her hair, she looked like a beautiful princess with her new hairstyle, and she got mad at me, doing a little joke thing. So instead, when he comes on, they come back from a break, and the Morning Virgin says, Kimmer was talking about your hair, beautiful hair again, and so they unloaded on me. Oh, Kimmer's a creep. They're trying to stalk you. He's on that. So they know that wasn't it. It was a little joke saying that, to show how it is out to. Okay. All right. Today, Miss Bella walks into this studio. Pete Davis, if you will, explain what might have happened as soon as she walked in here.
Well, when I came in, she was talking to Tiffany. But I didn't recognize her because it's like she had dyed it almost blonde or gray or something.
It's a brownish reddish tinge. It's soft and it's beautiful.
Did not in fact, I'm sitting there thinking, who's the Billie Eilish looking woman talking to Tiffany? And it wasn't until I walked past him I heard her talk, and I thought, well, damn, that was Bella. I didn't even recognize her.
When she came in this booth,
she looks like a different person. Right. I mean, she's beautiful. I mean, she has really pretty hair anyway, but she has a different color in it. And that braid, I'm telling you, she looks like a freaking princess from Game of Thrones. It's beautiful.
So what's the
so
point
I told her.
well,
no, the point
where are we going with this? That's what
I'm trying to defend myself. I wasn't being a creep.
Oh, you're not being creepy at all.
When I came out, she looked beautiful with her hair. What's wrong with you? You can't even say that anymore. And now all of a sudden everybody's all over me as some kind of creepy old fart or something. And if it's true, I apologize. But I'm just trying, it was so stunning. And you remarked yourself, you didn't even recognize.
I didn't recognize you.
And so I said, boy, how beautiful you look. Amanda agreed. The three of us together agreed she looked beautiful. I went on my business. Now I'm being attacked for being a creep.
I wonder if she's listening on the app.
Well, I don't know, but she...
Let's don't go there.
Probably not. Do we have an app? It's free for everybody. Anyway, Kimmer Pete Flounder. There's so much more coming up here, including the Cybertruck guy and a new theory on him now and everything else. And so much more. Kimmer Pete Flounder, 404-741-1230. We're running out of time if you want to join us. Here we go.
The Morning Extra is live weekday mornings from 6 to 10, and here's what you missed.
You know what the third most significant side effect of the COVID vaccine under Pfizer was that they found in their study? COVID.
Oh, only because we talked about it, yes.
You took it, and the third most thing that happened to you was you got it.
Yeah. Which they told you would be the exact opposite of what happened. You got to take this so you don't get it. And then you get it.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. every weekday morning on XTRA 106.3 FM and the XTRA app.
Hi, my name is Steve from Marietta, and we hired ATL Turfco to build our dream backyard golf setup. They installed a large 4-hole putting green, a sand bunker, a short game area, and did a full conversion to artificial grass around the pool with decorative retaining walls. ATL Turfco was really creative. They were efficient. The installation was a breeze. Price was completely reasonable, and I definitely appreciated their communication throughout the project. I would definitely recommend ATL Turfco to anybody thinking about doing a backyard makeover. You can check them out online right now at atlturfco.com.
One of the hardest things to do is to walk away from a paycheck. As retirement planners, Masterplan knows how hard it can be to pull the trigger on your own retirement. Don't go it alone. Masterplan is a holistic retirement planning firm that works with you to create a retirement plan to help maximize your golden years. Through income planning and money management, legacy planning, and tax planning, we create a plan specifically designed for your life. Enter retirement with confidence. Contact Masterplan to analyze your retirement outlook and create a plan that's right for you. All initial consultations are complimentary, so contact us today and begin your pursuit towards peace of mind. Visit masterplanretire.com. Masterplan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Masterplan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Masterplan Retirement Consulting. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Being in an accident really bites. You need people around you that are going to make the whole process easier to deal with. I just described David Van Sant at Van Sant Law. He used to work for the insurance companies. What an advantage. He knows who to call, what to say, and they're not going to pull the wool over his eyes. Give him a call. Van Sant Law, 855-GA-INJURY, vansantlaw.com, 855-GA-INJURY.
Hold on. All set to go. Almost all set to go. Hold on, I think.
Caught you by surprise, huh?
I think Hangman left me a message. Very surprised. No.
Show started at 3.
I know. I got, here's Bee Gees. We like Bee Gees. 1967. The Bee Gees set sail from Australia. They had been there for 9 years, head to England, land of their birth. I thought they were Australian. They're British and lived in Australia. They arrived 5 weeks later after they set sail. 5 weeks later, they got there in 1967. A few weeks after arriving in England, the family received a phone call from Robert Strigwood, the partner of Beatles manager Brian Epstein. Stigwood had heard tapes of the Bee Gees of Gibbs and requested a meeting. And on they go, 1967. Anyway, I like a lot of their stuff. Massachusetts and stuff like that. Let's see. I have one more birthday list, I think. Where the hell is it? Now I can't find it. Oh, here we go. Oh, my God, we're almost out of time. Mel Gibson is 69, and that hideous Nazi Greta Thunberg is 22. Anyway, and a quick thing in history, and it's kind of a sad story, but it's true, and so I'm going to say it. Well, hey, I feel bad about it, but I'm going to tell you what the story is anyway. It was on this day in 1950, Russian Siamese twins, the only known Siamese twins having 2 heads, 4 arms, and 3 legs. Masha and Dasha Krivtsashkapova. Russian Siamese twins.
Marsha.
You guys, you're going to regret making fun of these people. Masha died of a heart attack, and Dasha refused to be separated and died 17 hours later. How would you like to make that choice? Your twin is, dead over there. So we can cut her out. And she said, no, I'll just go ahead and...
So it wasn't the Kachakakov family?
It wasn't apparently the Kachakakov, the Slutskaya Kachakakov. Famous Russian gymnast. Thank you. Oh, Lordy. Anyway, let's see, what was I going to... Oh, God. I was going to do something stupid, and I can't remember what it was.
I think we just did.
Thank God. Anyway, a quick update on the Cybertruck guy. The FBI now says that he had left a note that the reason he blew up the Cybertruck in Vegas in front of the Trump Tower with the Elon Musk car is because he was suffering from PTSD and wanted to bring attention to people with medical problems and serving in the military. And he denied it was a terrorist act. In his note that he left behind, so they say.
Allegedly.
Anyway. And by the way, this one thing which I found amazing, he called his ex-girlfriend, reached out to her shortly before he left to go kill people, or try to kill people in Vegas. He bragged about renting a Tesla Cybertruck. It's the blank. He loved talking about it. He feels like Batman. He said, boy, it goes so fast, it's ungodly. I'm building a new drone in my position. You'll love the da-da-da-da-da. His ex-girlfriend, a single mother, says it was great to hear from her old boyfriend. He sent several more messages along with photos and videos of the truck. She's described him as the kindest man she had ever known and said he once even bought his sick mother a new home. And he apparently was a victim of PTSD, and that's what changed it all. I don't, God. 5:53. Do we have time to play the Lawrence O'Donnell claim again? MSNBC blaming veterans for all the problems in America, much more than anybody sneaking across the border.
No one who has ever crossed the southern border in the history of the existence of the southern border has killed more people in this country than Timothy McVeigh, who was born in Lockport, New York, the northwest part of the state, into a white Roman Catholic American family
white
with
Christian,
roots in this country that go back farther than Donald Trump's roots in this country.
Well, there you are.
A New Orleans terrorist, like Timothy McVeigh, reached the rank of sergeant in the United States Army. The simple fact is this country has suffered more deadly terrorism at the hands of American-born citizens who are veterans of the United States military than people who have crossed into this country at the southern border. It is very clear from the evidence that if you want to worry about terrorism in this country, the United States Army is a much bigger problem than the southern border.
That's fine. It's great. Larry, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, my God. It's just, my God. And by the way, how many people in this country have served in the military? A whole bunch. So that's 3 bad guys out of 45 million. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I've said this before, and you experienced when you came back from Vietnam. For most of my life as a youth, it was okay to bash the military.
Absolutely.
All the baby killers, all the crap that you had to put up with and everything. And then after the Gulf War, suddenly it wasn't cool anymore, so they had to stop doing it.
Yeah.
And then if you notice lately in the last few years, the left has started it back in, bashing of the military.
Flags have gone, bashing the military. We weren't allowed to talk. Nobody knew I was even in the Marines or in Vietnam or anything for 10 years. Nobody knew anything about me for years, decade. I mean, it was just, we didn't do it because of the reaction.
The
was
left
horrible.
hates the
I got
military.
into fights. I got in a fight the first few days I came home wearing my Marine Corps uniform. And so I didn't do that anymore. It wasn't worth trying to go to jail. Anyway, geez, freaking people. 5:55. Do we have time to play the CEO guy, Flounder? I'm sorry, I threw you a curve for the Allstate CEO guy. We'll play at least part of it. Here was what he said about who's to blame for the violence that happened a block away from where they had the game last night, if you will, sir.
Welcome to the Allstate Sugar Bowl. Wednesday, tragedy struck the New Orleans community. Our prayers are with the victims and their families. We also need to be stronger together by overcoming an addiction to divisiveness and negativity. Join Allstate working in local communities all across America to amplify the positive, increase trust, and accept people's imperfections and differences. Together, we win.
Together we win. Putting up with people's differences, so it's like our fault that we kind of led him to this? Is that what we're trying to say?
Our fault that we did that. Our fault. Okay, you take one symbol out of that coexist bumper, and everything's fine.
Yeah. I mean, holy smokes. By the way, people are saying that's it for Allstate. I'm no longer... Allstate was the sponsor of the Sugar Bowl, and they said that's a ball game. No more Allstate. And by the way, Allstate says, well, to be clear, he unequivocally condemns the heinous act of terrorism and violence in all forms. Yeah. Then stop blaming us. We stand with the family. So, gee, that's nice to hear. I mean, what an idiot. I mean, who wrote this? Who are the people? I doubt he wrote it himself, but he okayed it. He thought it was a good thing to say to the world.
To lecture us
to the world.
Day after it happened.
Yeah, if we would just be more, agreeable to the people who want to kill us. I can't believe it. Anyway, oh, Lordy. By the way, I was going to make a thing about my stupid ice. I'm no longer going back to the kitchen back there. I'm going to bring my own. I brought my own ice in now. By the way, make fun of that tomorrow.
Ice
Monday
is gone
morning.
again.
Anyway, we have no Nuckies, Hoagies in there. Flounder, do we? For Stacy and Shannon, the girls have for
another question
play.
I've been asked 1,000,000 times in the last 20 years. Anthony, what's your favorite joke you've ever written? It's easy. The first one. 20 years ago when I started doing this, I started from nothing. I was nothing. I was just going around to open mics in Los Angeles, performing for bitter open mic comedians who never reacted to anything. I was just trying to find my voice. Could I be good at this? Could I make it a living? And it took a while. Until one night, I went to a coffee shop, tried this joke out for the first time, changed my whole life. I said, guys, my girlfriend loves to eat chocolate. She's always eating chocolate, and she likes to joke she's got a chocolate addiction. She's like, keep away from those chocolate bars. I'm addicted to them. And it's really annoying. So one day I put her in the car, and I drove her downtown, and I pointed out a crack addict. And I said, you see that, honey? Why can't you be that skinny?
Anthony Jeselnik, every one of his bits, and something like that.
Long way to go for that one.
God. By the way, I'm going to read a sentence here. In a study, teenagers are not using condoms like they used to. Sexual health expert, World Health Organization issues a warning about the alarming decline in condom use. Here's the sentence that got me. The alert came after researchers revealed that almost a third of 15-year-olds reported using neither a condom nor a contraceptive. Wait a minute. 15-year-olds? That's now where they're starting all the sexual activity research? 15.
It's young.
This is common. The World Health Organization. They're starting with the 15-year-old studies.
Yeah.
Holy God.
By the way, if you had Flounder coughing January 3rd on the bingo card.
How come you guys don't have a bingo card? Anyway, boys, have a great week. Any big plans, Pete Davis? Mountain to me?
Watching football.
Flounder and Miss Veronica getting ready for the...
I'm doing whatever she tells me, so that'll be a weekend.
You're doing the right thing. Remember, the correct answer is right again, my darling. Anything you say, dear. Anyway, it's only me to Kimber, Pete Flounder. I got to go. You're killing me. Sing me home, Christine. Well, look out, Herp and Herp. See you on Monday. I'm hoping. Look out.
The Morning Extra from 6 to 10 a.m. and The Kimmer Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Only on WFOM and W292EV Marietta. Extra 106.3 FM.